Random live with Dylan and Brian with special guests too. Random chat and clouds are best. Yeeting all over the place, that's what we do. So get up and tune in, because we are the ones. Random live with Butter and friends. Let's go.
Yeah, send Devin the link. How we doing, everybody?
What's going
Devin's
on?
gonna come in. The Vaping Snowman. Glad for you to
Holy good
join us
lord, I haven't seen him in a fucking...
today.
Devin, you bite your fucking tongue with calling me a boy. You son of a bitch.
Mr. Intense, how we doing, sir? We're happy you can join us on our 4th of July celebration weekend.
Devin, you cross-eyed SOB, you better check your email.
And we got the Vaping Snowman with us, Mr. Intense. We got Night Clover.
Mr.
Glad to see you
Intense and the
guys coming
Vaping
in.
Snowman, how y'all doing? So we can wait till Devin gets his behind on the stream.
Oh, he'll be in a minute. And we got Andy C joining us. How we doing, Andy?
There is Devin coming in right now, that Pollock. There's the Pollock.
How we doing, Devin?
Happy 4th of July.
Happy
Yes.
4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, and all the folks in the audience that are from the United States, happy 4th of July.
Yes.
Should be a very good weekend. At least the weather is nice.
Yes.
I gotta pull up chat here on my computer. Give me a sec.
You know what? Even though we're like 2 minutes in, who cares?
Right.
Holy
We
shit,
got
KVR is in the chat. Love the intro,
KVR.
just getting ready to go out. Hopefully back in time. Massive love to you both.
There we go.
There we go. Alright. Now.
Hope to see you guys soon, brother. More than likely, we're going to be on for another 3 hours, 2 hours and some odd minutes.
There we go. Now I can see chat. What's going on, Mr. Intense? I know you said hey earlier, so what's going on to you, sir? We got Ron Jeremy in here. What's going on there, buddy?
Major sponsor of the channel. Thank you.
Let's see. Who do we got? The Vaping Snowman. I don't know who that is, but hello.
From the UK, he's always on with Savage 62.
All right.
We got KVR, who Brian and I know from Savage 62's 24-hour stream.
All right.
Doug and Lucy. Yeah.
Let me fix this thing here where I can see everybody. There we go.
So
What's
gentlemen,
new, Devin?
What's that?
What's new?
What's new?
Same old, same old. It's hot today, so.
Yeah, I got the AC on, and I'm kicking back with a Guinness beer that's 0 alcohol.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get me some today too, sometime today.
And the worst part, I'm drinking it out of the can instead of a glass.
Which we all know if Fagan was on this right now, he would have had a heart attack.
Yep. KVR says, make it 3 hours. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you.
Ooh, yes, sir.
But right now I'm just enjoying my Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, so thank you.
You're cheating on me, you prostitute.
Thank you, Dylan, for the coffee. You're the man, so thank you.
Bitch, I didn't spend my money on you.
You know what, Dylan? You're just mean. You know that? You're just cruel.
Hey, listen, you cheated on me.
Roll now.
Oh, man.
Since we're already 4 minutes into this shit, Devin, why don't you take it away with the buffets?
Well, I ain't got much for you. Well, I got something coming in on Monday, but Just the same old shit. I got the Pulse V2 with some of my uh, hold on, it's right here. Oh my goodness, some of my uh, 9.5 milligram blue raz that I mixed up a few days ago. So, or
Oh,
was
that
it?
ain't bad.
And I got my
Oh,
Boxer DNA 75C with the Bonza Pro on it. Nice matchy drip tip. Oh, hold on. Can you guys see that? Yeah, there
yeah,
you
we can see
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah.
go. And then in that, I got some of my. I actually mixed this up some strawberry banana, straw nana, 3 milligram, and that of my DIY. And that's it. Thank you. Take it away, Brian.
Alrighty. Today I'm running a little on the shy side, so I got my billet box with the Odd Job RVA in there and my own RY4 blend. And to follow that up, I've got my Freemax Galax Pro Pod, which is a great mouth lung pod, by the way. And in that, I've got some of the Beach Club Orange Dream, 50 milligram, which I didn't order 50, but they sent 50. It was supposed to be 35. Well, it hits pretty hard, but that'll make it through until I get my new order in. Probably Monday. I got a liter of premix coming in, a couple of other flavorings, so I'll be mixing up some more stuff. And I'm waiting on my order for the Vapors Cloud Ascent. I got the Racing Green, or the Green Racing, they call it. So I'm anxious to get that in the mail probably tomorrow. So I'm going to enjoy a little bit of sub-ohm vaping. So take it away, Dylan.
Uh,
It's officially King Test Tube. Holy shit. So, of course, my daily driver, the billet box with the Wicked Alpha that has Smartest Candy by Mr. Stevie Marquez. And I think I told Doug that I was getting a new toy. Doug, you might want to pay attention. Finally got my Cedo AIO in.
There you go.
And I got the little birthday gift that Devin sent me for my birthday, the Alexa 6 and that has Stevie Marquez vanilla cheesecake in that shit. That's at 6 milligrams, and this shit's hitting harder than a mother.
There you go. It's harder than your girlfriend's husband, right?
Shit.
oh man, Nightbot timed out the vaping snowman. Oh, what it?
Wait, it did?
Uh-oh.
When'd you set that up, Dylan? Nightbot.
I was talking to Savage, like, I think last show or whatever.
That's interesting.
I
I guess.
know I hate to denigrate the name of Guinness and a can coming out of there, but it just says at the top, chill, open, pour and enjoy. Well, I'm actually pouring it properly right down my throat.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Nightbot, calm down.
I was gonna tell you, Brian. I don't know. The last time I got Guinness, it had like a little ball inside the can.
Yeah,
And
they got one in there.
yeah,
This is the non-alcoholic one.
yeah.
See,
Yeah,
I,
I think
zero.
that they had that ball in it just to keep the shit cold.
I haven't
Mm,
tried that yet. The non-alcohol one.
the ball actually has a what's in it? It's like a CO2 little ball, and it
Yeah.
releases whatever into the atmosphere when you open up the can.
Yeah.
I guess that gives the bubbly flavor to it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But we are in 4th of July, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, good looking people. And Devin, of course.
That's right.
Yeah, shine a little light on the subject.
You already
So,
know, because last night
yeah,
people were fucking letting off fireworks. And they're
really.
going to be doing that today, all day today, and for the next couple of days. Like a bunch of retards. Nope, can't say the R word on YouTube. I forgot. Snowflakes are on
That's okay. You know what? My dog, he's pretty smart, but he doesn't like loud noises. So
Wait,
what
Oh,
he'll
one
do,
last night, fucking. Oh, that's all I heard was fucking a firework go off. You know those like hissing fireworks and then it pops off at the very end.
yeah, yeah.
That's all I heard all night. My neighbor's dog kept going off. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I know my dog. He gets so scared of thunderstorms, rain. He doesn't like to go out in the rain. So when the fireworks start, he'll jump into the bathtub. It's his bomb shelter. He's just like a little sissy.
Bro,
He's pretty
no,
good though. He's
that
cool.
that's at least your dog is normal. I had a dog that had fucking anxiety shit anytime, had separation anxiety every time my father and I left the house. The dog tore up the
Yeah.
metal crate, tore up fucking blinds and shit like that. I'm like, dude, you're fucking retarded.
You should see what he's doing on the sofa right now. He's trashing all the pillows. He's trying to build a little bed.
what's
Now, as
going on?
cute as cute as he is, I wouldn't call him normal, but he's pretty cool.
Mr. Six Pack Kid, holy shit. You're
There we
alive.
go.
Oh,
There we go.
Eric, Night Clover.
So Devin, how you been? I know you've been MIA on social media and everything like that for the past few days and everything.
I've been alright. Same old, same old. I gotta fix this panel on this thing because for some reason it's not doing. I had the magnet fall out the other day, so it's just not staying secure in place. So I guess I gotta pull the magnets out and clean it. So, I don't know.
I mean, you can call. I think you can call Vandy customer service about that and just let them know, like, hey, my buddy sold this to me. The panel's fucked up.
Oh yeah.
I can just buy some new panels for cheap. So,
Well, Devin, I can always 3D print you some new panels.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian made some Six Pack Kid some biker gnomes.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a clog I got to get unclogged out of the hot end on my printer. I was using it a little bit too much. So they're sending me a new hot end from Creality. I'll be happy, you know. The heck.
And I know Mr. Stevie Marquez is listening in. What's going on, Mr. Marquez?
Yep, Mr. Marquez, how are we, sir?
Hmm. Excuse me. Whew.
No problem.
Uh, see.
And Info,
Actually, Guinness in the can, straight out of the can, isn't all that bad. It's not as good as when you pour it into a glass, but it's still pretty decent.
you see, anytime I drink beer, whether it's Corona, Guinness, or whatever, I gotta drink it straight from the can or bottle. I cannot pour it in a glass and drink that shit.
Yep. And
Um.
be quite honest with you, I had to fight to get this 4 pack of Guinness non-alcoholic. That place at Kroger, where I get it from,
Oof.
they stock the shelf with about 10 4 packs, right?
Right,
And
just like they
every
do with
time I go
Monster.
to get it, it's already gone. So somebody scoops it all up. Yeah. So this time I got lucky. I seen one hanging around a thing of Coors on a 6 pack. So I pulled it out. I said, bingo, I'm lucky. So I got that one.
Nick says, Devin, listen here, mother trucker. I'm off for 7 days. Don't curse at me like that.
There you go.
Well,
7 days, man. I
well,
know
Nick,
you're good.
well, Mr. Nick, if you're off, why don't you get your ass on this show? I posted a link in chat for you to come on in.
He's probably out washing his motorcycle. So
Probably
giving it a
washing his
good bath.
ass too.
Just Nick, just make sure you put extra soap on that motorcycle when you're out there washing it. So you
I
gotta
just,
clear
I
coat.
just wonder, I just wonder what's going on in the rest of the world. How's everybody out there doing? Whether you're in the UK, over in another country, or in the United States, just put in the chat how you guys are doing. What are
As
you
Mr.
doing for
Intent
the
says,
weekend?
the alcohol's got to be in the glass. Are we not civilized? Apparently, I'm not. According to some people, like Vegas Hagen, I'm not civilized.
Oh, I'm civilized, Mr. Intense. I just figured I was just got so damn lazy, didn't feel like washing another glass.
On top of that, I'm not that fancy where I have like 1,001 fucking beer glasses just in the cabinet. That's why I drink it out the can or the bottle.
I'm going deep roughing it today. I'm trying to avoid dishes at all costs.
You see there, Dylan? Nick said I was right. He's out washing his motorcycle and listening to the
There
show.
you go.
He's gonna be washing his ass as he's washing the bike.
Actually, I heard that Nick actually has some bikini girls over there, and he's just sitting back with a cold beer
Oh,
while
yeah.
bikini girls wash his bike for
I'm
him.
I'm just dripping it
Yeah,
on my shirt.
but Devin, you also have to remember Nick loves those big tatas. So half these bikini girls have big tatas.
You gotta have the tatas, and I'm making a mess of my damn shirt here. I guess that'll teach me to drink it out of the glass. Huh?
Uh, I actually think that beer tastes better out of a bottle or a
Yeah.
glass. So, a can, it kind of sucks.
Well, if you do it out of the can, it's not bad. I'm just not used to drinking out of the cans. I usually do it from the thing because when you drink it out of the can, if you notice, you'll get a lot of spillage at the top around the rim down here, and that tends to drip on your shirt, which just happened
Even
to
when
me.
you're drinking it out of a glass, you got it coming from the side of your mouth and it gets all over the place.
Yep.
So I
Give me
have to
one.
agree with Devin on that. It's better when it comes out the bottle.
Oh yeah. Give me 1 minute, gentlemen. I'll be right back.
Ugh. But for those of you in chat who don't know, this is basically like a CVS show reunion with myself and Devin, because me and Brian do this show every single Friday. Like me and Devin did the CVS show, or me and Devin did the CVS show every Friday at what 8, 7 your time, 8 my time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this really is a CVS show reunion for me and Devin, even though he retired the show.
Well, I thought about it, and it might be coming back. I just got to take care of a few things. I just been busy, and I haven't had time to really run the show right now. But it should be coming back soon. So
You
hopefully,
also need to get yourself a new computer where the processor doesn't crash out.
yeah. I'm working on that, so that's just taking a little bit of time. So just give me a little bit more time, guys, and I'll have it up and going again. So,
I'm estimating about a month to 2 months.
what's that?
I'm estimating about a month to 2 months.
Yeah, we'll see. It might be. It should be coming back probably right around this fall. So right
Which
around
which
August
I,
or September. So
yeah,
I
which
guess.
falls in September, so it'll be September 21st, I think, for when or the 25th, whenever fall fucking starts.
So it will be coming back.
I think September 24th or 5th. Was that when
So
fall is officially started?
yeah.
Yeah, because the seasons change on like the 20, anywhere from the 20th to the 25th.
Now I'm going to do it the proper way. There we go. There
and
we go.
Now, Mister Attend's gonna sit there and say you're civilized now because you're drinking out of a glass.
Yep. I
and
feel like a normal human being at this point.
And I was thinking we might just go ahead and do a full reboot of the show, a full refresh. So start from scratch again and work our way back up because I've been thinking about that too. So I'm probably going to go on there today and probably delete all the stuff I have and we'll just start from scratch again. So it'll be all right. So,
And who knows? I still may be the co-host. You don't know about that, guys.
so I think we're going to do that because the first couple of shows were on Rumble, and it just everything kind of got all mixed up and everything. So we're gonna start from scratch again this fall. So
Yeah, the good thing about this, guys, is the fact that we when we stream on Rumble, or well, when I stream on Rumble, I just figured out I can put the intro and the outro that KVR sent me and everything for the little clips and shit. So basically, Devin, even if you downloaded the clips yourself, you can also slap them in and shit.
yeah,
So
so
I would be able to help you if you wanted to do that because as you know, I stream on both on 3 platforms: YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble itself.
yeah, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see, but maybe we won't start from scratch again. I don't know yet, so we'll see. We'll see what goes on.
Well, the biggest thing is do a plan. Lay out a plan on a piece of paper. Pick a good day to do it too, and a
Yeah,
good time slot.
because Devin and I was sitting there talking with Brett, and I think I was talking to Brian about this too. One major thing that fucked us up with the show was two major things, and I'm not trying to call you out on this or anything like that. This
Excuse
is
me.
just what a conversation I was having with Brett and Brian. The constant day change that we did, and the
uh,
constant time off. That's what constantly, kind of fucked us up with doing the show and everything like that.
the constant what time off? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
like for example, if Chuck took a time off, we took a time off. If ST took a time off, we took a time off. Like that. That's
Yeah.
what kind of fucked us up a little bit.
Well, you got
Well,
to have a little lag time in between.
Right,
If you're busy doing things like he was in the middle of moving, and you
right.
just gotta.
That's acceptable. But what I'm saying is, before the move, the some time off and stuff like that.
when I started the show, it wasn't really well. What I had in mind, it wasn't really meant to be like every week or anything like that. So it just kind of happened that way. So because after doing something every week, it's just like sometimes I just need like the weekend off. But
Right,
so So I was thinking about maybe spacing it out a little bit, maybe doing the
right.
show every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was just about to say every 2 to 3 weeks.
Maybe twice in a month. CBS, maybe twice in a month. What? Oh, you're talking about twice a month? Yeah, is that what you're
Yeah,
talking?
because if you do it twice a week, it's gonna be 2 times a month that we're doing the show.
Yeah.
Like for example, what Nick said, basically saying like if we do a show in the beginning of the month, right, and we wait 2 weeks and we do a show then, that's basically twice a month.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 See, Nick thinks it's a good idea, so thank you, Nick.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it gives you a break
and it
between
has
everything.
time for the algorithm to pick up. So that way, you know.
What we got to do is we got to schedule some build offs in it.
Yeah,
We do a little competition build off.
Oh
and
That'll
yeah,
work.
and also a good thing is the kind of branch off with like the UK people. I mean, when Brian and I would talk about this show that we're doing, He thought it was a good idea to branch off to people in the UK, like vaping big, Bogan, BVG, KVR, Savage 62. It it basically, bro, my whole subscriber count literally shot up from 43 subs to over 100 right now.
Hey, what's going on,
That's
JT?
pretty good.
What's going
How
on,
we doing,
JT?
JT?
Son of a bitch.
Happy 4th of July, sir.
Happy 4th of July.
I don't know. JT wants to know what the hell is yeet. So, would you like to explain it to him, Dylan?
It's 4 letters. It's one word. Yeet.
Hey, what's going on, Neil? Hey, Craig. What's going on there,
Craig,
mate?
you shut your
Craig D.
Craig D, what's going on? Neil, you shut your mouth. Yeet. And no, Mr. Intense is not feet like Kenny. It's yeet.
Happy 4th to you, Craig. Do.
Craig, why don't you come in and join us, man?
Is Craig in the U.S. too?
No, he's in UK. Scotland.
Oh,
He's,
UK.
he's over in Scotland, I think it is.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
Mr. Craig D, why don't you come in?
JT says it sounds gay.
JT, I know you're not talking. You're the lieutenant or corporal of gay.
Oh man.
That's
Let's
not right.
see here. What's going on, Cheryl?
Hi, Cheryl.
And I know sooner or later Fagan's gonna come in and say, "Is this a vape show?"
Let's see.
Yes, we are a semi-vape show. How's that?
And no, me and Devin are not drunk, and neither is Brian.
No, no. It'd be a little hard to get drunk off of zero alcohol. I'm not a sponsor for Guinness, but if they want to do want to sponsor me, I'll get you my address.
But I am sponsored by Mr. Stevie motherfucking Marquez.
There you go. Well, after I'm done with the Guinness, I'm going to follow it up with an old American standard, Coors
Oof.
Banquet beer.
Coors to me tastes like fucking piss.
Well, I don't mind it. It's pretty decent beer for what you pay for. It's not really expensive. It's a step up over Miller High Life. I know that. But Guinness is my all-time favorite.
Why did Craig come out of nowhere and just say freedom?
He
Mhm.
knows what we struggled with over in the U.S.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's
Oh,
see.
that was kind of funny as shit.
Yep, this Craig is from Scotland, and they still want to have their independence from England. So that's why he said freedom.
That's
Yeah.
what. That's why Craig is such a cool person. Even though it's a struggle to try to get him on the stream and everything.
Just so
But
everybody knows that me and Brian are both adults. Dylan is 12, so.
Devin, you can let the left side of my nutsack, you fuckhead. How dare you try to come at me saying I'm 12?
Well, you have to admit, you remember that little thing where the guy is pictured, and you were playing around with the magnet shavings, and they would stick to him like he had a beard. No,
Yep.
you look just like that when you
That's what
don't
I
shave.
shaved.
When you
I
don't
still have my
shave,
beard.
that's what you look like.
If I still
You
have my
got the
beard,
little
my
magnet
beard's
guy
healthy.
that's pictured, and he's got the little thing, and you put the magnet underneath, and the shavings go around his face.
Craig, you say you're shy, But I call bullshit on that.
Oh, JT
Neil
said,
Pitts, you shut the fuck up.
oh, he just put on a kilt. That's funny. Oh, man, that caffeine really hyped me up, man. Whew. I'm a little
Yeah,
lightheaded from that iced coffee.
Hey, at
it'll
least you're
do
not
it.
drinking a monster right now. You would probably
Oh,
be bouncing off the walls.
Yeah. Tell
And trust me,
you,
I'm a full blown monster addict. I used to drink like 2, 3 of them motherfuckers a day.
I know
uh,
one thing, Devin. This stuff here last night, I hit that thing 5 times in a row real quick. And at 50 milligram Nick salts, man, I was spinning. I'm
yeah,
not used to the 50. It's something the wrong strength. That's okay. I'll use it up.
yeah.
What Brian's trying to say is he got knocked on his ass.
Oh, hey, you get a nicotine rush. You take 5 good hits off of this mouth to lung. Man, that stuff it makes your head spin.
Oh no,
It
I
really
used to do
does.
that with fucking just 5% milligrams of fucking disposable and then a fucking jewel.
Oh yeah, easy enough to do.
I tried mouth to lung in that shit too. No,
Oh,
the whole fucking room was spinning from the fucking Nick. I was like, oh shit, this ain't good.
Yeah, I was telling everybody last night that one of my local vape shops down here just celebrated their grand opening. So for 11 years in business because they moved to a new
wow.
location. So they
Grand opening. Huh.
yeah, the grand opening, and they were doing a bunch of giveaways and stuff. I should have went down there and got in on the giveaway and stuff, but I just never made it down there. But
Yeah, some of these Facebook groups, Devin, they do giveaways. I think from what Nick told me, it's either $10 to $15 worth of a giveaway for
Wow.
waffles.
and this
That's
is
that's pretty good.
Neil,
and the
I'm sorry,
I'm
go ahead,
sorry,
Devin.
I was just gonna say, and this local vape shop down here is the only vape shop that still sells batteries. The other ones don't anymore because the people filed a lawsuit against them because the dumb fucker. It wasn't the store's fault. It was the people. They weren't using the plastic casing for their batteries, so they kept catching on fire and shit like that. So they sued the vape shop and blamed them.
Motherfucker. Dylan, are
Wow.
they having fireworks near the Statue of Liberty tonight? That, sir, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, they're actually having Dylan guard the Statue of Liberty tonight, and
No, Devin, don't get it twisted.
yeah.
Me and Devin spoke about it yesterday. They're lighting my ass on fire and setting me as a firework.
So they're gonna have him in mega gear and everything with an AR-15. So he's just gonna be standing there.
Oh, Hanky's here.
Dylan,
Hanky,
Brian,
you want to
Bob.
join
I forgot your
us?
name. Devin, this is referring to you. Bob, I forgot your name.
Yeah, yeah. That's my alias that I go by as Bob. So thank you. You know who I haven't seen in a while, Dylan, is Toodle Pants. I don't know
I
if
haven't seen her in chat either for a fucking while.
so. If she's watching, I don't know if she's watching, but she might be.
Hanky, you want to come in and join us? You're more than welcome, sir. Send them the link, Dylan.
I
Post it.
just posted it in chat not that long ago.
Yeah, you're
Nemo,
more than welcome, Hanky, if you want to come in and enjoy the fun.
Yes, sir.
I think Mima comes over when I'm live and shit like that too. I think,
Occasionally she'll come on when we're doing the show and she'll watch. She does the
yeah,
same thing for Chuck Show too.
yeah. Can at the moment I'm visiting friends in Liverpool.
I thought you
Hey,
said
no
you were
problem, sir.
fisting.
No problem.
I thought you said he was fisting friends.
JT says, "Don't ask where Dylan will put the sparklers."
Yeah, I put him right between your ass cheeks.
Hey there, Marcus, you son of a bitch. Isn't it past your bedtime? Every
It's too
time,
late to go to
Marcus,
bed.
somebody goes live, you're always in these chats. You're supposed to be in bed.
Marcus is too drunk to go to bed. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Is it true, Dylan? You're going to show up the fireworks and you use you as the Burning Man? Is that true?
You're damn right.
The Burning
What
Man.
I heard is, and this is a plan between me and Brett. I'm gonna show up to Mark's in a dress and a blue wig.
Oh, oh, a dress and a blue wig. Haha.
Oh.
As long as somebody doesn't shove a big firework up your caboose and light it, you'll be okay.
Hey, shit, fucking Mark might do that. I don't even know. He might
Yep.
shove something else up my ass.
Fuck you, Marcus.
That would be the 4th of July rectal probe.
No, because me and Devin had this joke going where Devin was gonna send fucking Mark a sex toy with that had a long cock and a fucking vagina strapped to it. So I'm afraid if Devin did that, Mark was gonna sit there and take that, use that shit on me.
Oh, damn. Nightbot is really going after people.
Uh-oh. Stop
Hanky Panky
spamming.
is spamming!
Oh, he got hanky on this one.
I gotta set up Nightbot on mine, too.
Oh, it says suboptimal. Stop spamming emojis. Warning.
Neil says most of the vape shops up here are starting to sell cigarettes because they can't get vape devices. Yeah. Yeah, most of them down here, except for one local vape shop that doesn't sell any of that tobacco crap. They just sell all vape gear. But yeah, vape shops ain't vape shops anymore, so they've all gone to the
But
ball shit.
when you think about it, though, Devin, we don't have much merchandise coming in from overseas.
Right.
So our stock over here is being depleted. And if you look on Element Vape and Vapor DNA and My Vapor Store, they're pretty much out of a lot of stuff. So we're waiting on the new stuff to come in.
Right, even my vapor store, freaking they took out all their juices off their store.
Yeah,
So
they're
even
going.
if I wanted to order juice or any hemp products from my vapor store, they wouldn't send it over to here. But yet they're
Yeah, they're getting
located
a
over
little
in New York.
dry. They are getting a little dry.
And the crazy thing is, my vapor store is located in Queens.
Yeah.
There was something I was gonna add on to that, but I can't remember now.
Well, you got to figure way back before the pandemic, My Vapor Store was a big supplier.
Yep.
And they were a big distributor for a lot of the vape shops too.
And they were a freaking sponsor to Fagan.
Yeah,
is
and
I
they were getting in there pretty good, and all of a sudden, boom, nothing.
Mr. Intense, I don't know what IQOS is.
No, Mr. Intense, I think the FDA blocked that from coming in to the United States, so
But
we
I
don't have
do.
access to it. It's the vape not heat not burn thing. Is those little cartridges that supposed to look like a cigarette, Devin, and
Oh,
they were in a little thing. You took it out, you puffed on
yeah,
it just like it was a cigarette.
yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually banned from coming in the United States for
Yeah.
whatever reason. But it's okay. You can go to your gas station or any petrol station in the United States and get a pack of cigarettes. But
Yep.
they banned the heat not burn. I totally don't understand that.
Hey Neil, I'll let you in on a little secret on that. I just got something from overseas, and it passed through U.S. Customs, so it'll be here Monday. It's an RTA, but you didn't hear that from me though. So,
I just purchased this on Father's Day, and I just got it the other day.
Yeah.
so
I'm anxiously awaiting the Vapors Cloud Ascent. And that's going to be kind of a cool little device to have because not only does it take their coils, it also uses the Vupu PNP coils and the Vaporesso GTX coils. So that'll be a nice one to have.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
a small device. It's a dual 18650 device. So a lot of people gave a little bad vibes about the tank, but I don't see anything wrong with that. It's got a magnetic base. You just twist it, pull it off, change your coil out, you're good to go. It's pretty straightforward.
Listen, I love my single 18650s. Ain't nothing wrong with a single battery mod.
Yeah,
Right
I
back.
actually I actually purchased that directly from Vapors Cloud, and Element Vape had it for $99, and I picked it up for 65. So
What
that's a
from Vapors
huge
Cloud?
cost savings. 65 plus $10 for shipping.
That
That's
ain't
not
bad.
bad. No. And I don't have that adult
Compared
signature fee.
to Vapors Cloud products, compared to a like die codes, some of the Vapors Cloud products are running like 200-300. I think that's for like the Hammer of God stuff. Even even if you purchase the tank with it, that's still over $200-300 right there.
Right, right,
Plus
right.
you got to take into consideration the tax and then the shipping tax, and but compared to a die codes, you're paying like close to $600-700 just
Yep. Oh,
for
you pay a lot of money for Diecode stuff, that's for sure.
yeah.
I got a couple of Diecodes mods. They're not cheap,
They're
not by
not
any standard. But I give props to Vapors Cloud. At
right,
least they're one of the very few mod manufacturers who have not gone the route of the disposable or a pod system.
right.
So they
But here's the
stick
thing
with the
for
basics. They got a mod, they got their tanks, and they're doing pretty good. So props to them.
right. But here's the thing. Even some of these big name companies like Cthulhu and Dotmod. Okay, is doing phenomenal without making disposable.
Yeah,
But if you look at Dotmod, they were doing good for the past I don't know how many years without making a disposable. But even if you look on places like Element Vape, My Vapor Store, or whatever other store that sells Dot Mod products, Dot Mod already even Dot Mod the Dot Mod company location, they're
right.
selling disposables. And it's
Yeah.
like what the fuck? Why
Well, you
would
got to
you want
remember they're trying to stay in the game.
right,
And the PMTA process really put a damper on their enthusiasm to create new stuff.
right,
So, in order for them to actually stay afloat in the business world, they have to offer a more inexpensive product.
right?
Otherwise, they'll go under real quick.
And that's what Joe Sturdy just came out with a new titanium sturdy one,
Yeah,
which I think holds more juice capacity in the dot format version of the tank.
yeah,
But the RBA itself is sexy as fuck, made out of titanium.
yeah.
Oh. Neil says, oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, to tell people, and they probably already know, but if you guys are gonna order stuff from online stores, I'd order them now before they close their doors, because
Oh,
I
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I know Dotmod, I think you can go on their site and purchase direct, if
yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Same thing with Cthulhu and Dicodes USA.
Yeah. Aspire used to be able to do that too, because I bought several things in the past off of Aspire directly. But since they didn't want to be bothered with PMTA process and they kind of pulled out of the United States, we still can get their products, but you got to go around the roundabout way.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's not bad.
another site I like is Hobby Delights. Mike from Virginia.
yep.
He's good
Yeah,
battery.
I checked them out a couple of weeks ago. They're pretty decent.
Yeah, I've ordered
Even
from them a lot.
even freaking vaping art too.
I've never ordered from them. So.
I used to order from Vapenart a long time ago, but when they started really letting their website go downhill, and you think you could see something that you want to pick up, and then when you click on it, it's out of stock. It's been out of stock for like 3 years. What they need to do is go and clean their website up and take those old listings out. If you're not going to carry the product, at least remove it from
Yep.
the website.
It's the same. And like I was telling Nick, it's the same thing with Straight Fire Vaporium too.
Yeah,
They have a lot of products listed on their site, but a vast majority of it's out of stock.
yeah. And what's the point of keeping the website up and all those listings on there if you're not going to carry the product? At least remove it.
Exactly.
Saying it's out of stock, well, you're leading the people who are visiting the site to believe that it's going to come back into stock. And some of that stuff is not even manufactured anymore. It's gone. You know, the modders who used to make those things, the companies, no longer exist. So why keep it on the website?
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense.
Looks like my Vpro is running a July 4th sale, 25% off all the e-liquids.
Yeah.
That's
Dylan,
because
your
I'm
mic's
sitting
too
way.
low.
That's because I'm sitting way too far away from the computer. That's why.
Actually, Hanky, it's what he's sitting on that's up his caboose that's making him low.
Damn it, Brian!
Now, I'll tell you what, and be quite honest with you and fair. If you
Holy
go to
shit.
eSig1 over in the UK,
Yep.
if you look at their pricing level, the margin levels are low. So you're actually better off going there and paying the shipping cost if you want a good mod that you can't get over here, because it's well worth the price because their prices are so low. If you add the shipping on, even if it's $35, you're still saving a
Right.
ton of money. So that's the best way to do it.
Now, even if you order from like eSig1 and shit,
Yeah.
some of this shit they'll charge you like 33 pounds, but then translated to USD, that should be like 58 bucks plus the fucking, you know, sales tax, shipping tax, whatever the case is.
Yep.
Fucking Nightbot, how barbaric.
Look at old Hank, he's getting attacked.
Sorry about that, Hanky. I didn't set it up that way.
All right, now I'm going for the real beer with alcohol.
All right, you gentlemen speak your minds. I will be right back.
Now there's a good head of beer right there. Look at that. What a pour. Now that shows class on how I can pour a beer. If you can get a good head like that, you got a good beer. Nice.
Yep. Marcus, you have to pay.
Actually, Marcus, no, we don't get bothered with the customs. That's one of the things that our customs people don't even bother with because it's not worth them to notify everybody in the single planet that if your device is under 250 US dollars, you're not going to worry about customs because they don't care about it. If it's over the 250 US dollar mark, they're going to want money. Then they'll notify you.
Yep. Yeah,
So we do pretty good over here.
yeah, I was thinking about getting this Centarius Q200 for my Kylan Mini that's coming in. It's a good
Yeah.
mod. So,
Yeah, the Kylan Mini 2 tank is a great tank. It really is.
yeah, it's one of the best, man, especially for
Yeah.
single oil. I love it.
In the
Yeah,
words
I
of
keep
Fagin,
the bubble glass on mine.
Yeah.
in the words of Fagin, shut your mouth.
He's back. Oh, he's back.
So yeah, I might order this next payday. It's only $43 on Element.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know where else you can get it probably cheaper is go to Source More. If you go to
Yeah,
Source More, it'll be cheaper.
yeah, I've ordered from them a lot. So,
Also check what's the other place? Health Cabin.
yeah,
If you check Health Cabin, they usually have a pretty decent deal on stuff too. I usually get my coils from Health Cabin because they're so dirt cheap. I buy 5 6 packs at a time.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why if getting the fucking pre-made coils for like the normal RBAs, I buy
yeah,
like freaking 3, 4, 5 sets at a fucking time.
I didn't know this, but Dylan was right last week when Simon was on. The nerve, the the little adapter for the coils. You were correct. There's two chimneys. If
No,
you
there's
use,
three.
there's three chimneys, so you have to match the appropriate chimney up with the coil that you're using. And if you try to fit the one chimney on another coil that it doesn't belong on, it's not going to fit right.
Yep.
So you were right. You were right. I looked into that. So props to Dylan. He called it.
Because the Gentleman Crackle channel, who I'm subscribed to, he was doing a full in-depth like review of it,
Right.
and he was saying to say if you put that like the chimney that belongs to a .6 coil on like
Right.
a .4 or .8 coils, won't fit.
Yep. See, even Hanky said you're always right. Hanky knows.
Thank you, Hanky.
There's many a times that Hanky has corrected Benny Vapes, and Hanky was correct.
Yep.
So he's saying you're correct.
Thank you, good sir.
But anybody in the audience, let's give a big shout out to Mr. Benny Vapes on his show. He has two of them. One is the Northern Union Vape Show, which is on Sundays. And he also
Yes.
has the UK Mixing Show on Wednesdays. And they're great shows to subscribe to and watch. And you'll catch Hanky on the show there on Sundays. And I would suggest you giving it a shot. It's a good way to spend a little bit of time and watch a good show. And big props out to Mr. CC Coils over in the UK. CC Coils makes a lot of great coils, and he has you covered for all your coiling needs. So check him out too over in the UK while you're there. You also have Vape Smarter. Stu's got a lot of good mods over there, and Six Pack Kid will tell you he's got some nice build stands too,
Yes.
and
Hey,
he's
as
got some
Ron,
really cool Addy stands made by other Sean. So check
as
those guys out, and
Brian, just know my father says, Brian, even a broken log is right twice a day.
oh shit.
And Cheryl, don't tell me to get off my phone because that's how I'm reading the rest of the chat. Thank you.
Oh, hey, everybody over in the United States, we all love Hanky. We all love
Yeah.
Benny Vapes and all the rest of the crew on their shows. They do a great job, outstanding job. So check them out. You've got Benny on Sundays, and he's got his mixing show on Wednesdays. Great show to check out if you're a mixer. If you do a lot of DIY, you can learn a lot of stuff from there. And
As as Nick says, I'm always right in my opinion. Then Hanky says 6 pack. I forgot you were in here. You, sir, are more right than Dylan. That's fucked up.
Dylan's in the Yeet Army. Dylan's part of the Yeet Army. So
And
we
Mr.
we're,
Intense is part of the Heat Army.
so we got KVR covered. He can make some new merchandise now called
Not
the Yeet Army.
Cheryl, you're never right compared to with me. Because there are times I was way more right, and you were like, oh.
And of course, on Saturdays, anybody that's from the UK or even over here, check out Savage 62. Simon's got a great show on Saturday afternoons. and you'll have a good time with that too. And you'll have KVR on there, Stabby and Fresh, and hopefully within the hour, Stabby and Fresh will be joining us. And don't forget to check out Jaff Vapes and also Vaping Vic. Vaping Vic on Sunday mornings, Jaff Vapes throughout the week, and also the Punk Rock Vapor. They do some really good shows. You can't waste your time watching those guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, though with the links Nightbot just posted, that's the link to KVR and Savage 62. Go click those links. Go subscribe.
Yep. Subscribe, watch, and you'll have a good time. So we don't mind
Also,
plugging the other shows. We really appreciate everybody tuning into us. We may not be the most professional group out in the world, but at least we're something to watch.
also, if you haven't already done that, go subscribe to Vaping Big.
Yes.
Mr. Six Pack Kid is on Big Show, 10 a.m. New York time, 9
Sundays.
a.m. Central, 8 a.m. in Pacific, and whatever time in the UK. I don't know exactly what time it is in the UK.
Yeah. And from periodically, I'll be joining Mr. Vaping Vic every once in a while on the Sunday show. It's always a good time, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
We all have a good time when we're there for a little bit of entertainment. So what you got going on there, Devin?
Rewicking the pulse right now. So
Uh-huh. Hanky, I don't know about being professional. I know I'm in here, but don't know if I'm really a professional.
We have the host slash dumbass with me. We have the genius and Brian, and then we have I don't even know what Devin is. Well, yes, Mr. Intense, Mr. Intense, ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Intense just did. Go subscribe to Joff. Joff is doing a live stream at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, since I think New York is Eastern. Um, which will be 8 p.m. for where he is. Go subscribe. Go tune into his live show and everything. Nick, you are good looking. Shut your mouth. You get all the big tatas and everything.
Gotta have the tatas.
Plus, Nick, that's
Yeah.
why you have like three kitties at your house right now.
Hey, you gotta have a pet. If without a pet in your life, you're gonna be a very bored person.
Yes. Devin, my father just called you the trusty sidekick.
yeah. Trusty
Now,
son.
Devin, you're on the Pulse kit there. You're using the tank they provided.
They provide two.
Yeah. I'm using the pulse bridge.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent kit when you think about it. Gives really good flavor.
I know
The
the
Vandy Vape did a good job on that one.
I know the original three uh pulses. They came with the Vessel RBA and the Subum coil tank for it. And
Right, right.
I think with the V2 that came out, they did the same thing.
Aha. There you go.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I like when Hanky came on the last time. All his setup had my picture all over it, which was pretty cool. I didn't expect that.
Yep. One thing I would like to point out though is with all the rebuildable RBA sets that are coming out for the various Boro mods, don't forget that the manufacturers of the mods like Vandevape there, they put out a pretty decent RBA kit included in the kit itself when you purchased it. So
Right,
it's not that bad. And you
but
could
here's
also use the coils in their other one that they provided too, which
right,
is
but
pretty decent.
here's the thing that you're also forgetting with that, Brian. When
Yeah,
when Vandy Vape and Tony V came out with the Pulse, right? Like I'm talking about
right.
like the original
Yeah,
first one in the 1.5. That vessel, the deck kept falling out.
I
So
have the vessel. I know it does. It drops right out.
so once they came out with the Mini and then the V2, that's when they fixed that entire thing where it doesn't drop like that.
Right, right. And there's an easy fix to that too. Um, what I did was on my original vessel, I took a toothpick, a flat toothpick. They're hard to find, the flat ones. But if you put a piece down behind the silicone ring going on the bottom, it'll actually hold it in a lot better.
Yeah, that's why I like tanks like the one that came with this or the tank that
Right.
came with like the billet box. So all I have to do is just for the tank that came with the billet box, all I have to do is pop the glass,
Yeah.
stick the RBA in, and it's perfectly fine. I don't have to worry about anything falling out. Same thing with this one. All I have to do is just pop the top and plop the RBA in, and it's perfectly fine.
One benefit of the original Pulse deck, though, the vessel deck, is that you could put a 3.5 millimeter coil in there
Yep.
and have no problem whatsoever, and you still won't hit that chimney.
Right.
And I'm
Only thing.
sure if you tried, you could probably fit a 4 millimeter.
Right, but the only thing I don't like about the vessels is when you go to put the coils they provided in the deck, you
Yeah.
have to space them bitches out a lot just to
Oh
get it
yeah.
in that
Yeah.
deck.
Just to fit it in there because of the screws. Yeah.
Well, no, because
They
of the fact that since it's round wire coils, they come so small, and it's hard to
right.
get one leg in and then reach to the other post.
Right.
So it's
You had to
like,
put it on a coiling rod and spread them out a little bit.
yeah, that's the only pain in the ass.
Yep. Oh, Hanky wants you to sing for your subscribers.
Cheryl
Oh,
said that
see,
too.
he wants you to sing. Come on.
I'm
Let's
not
sing.
doing that. I am not
Come
singing.
on. Come on. You can do it. We're
I
cheering
am
you
not.
on.
I am not doing that.
Sure, you can do it.
I am not doing that. I am sorry. I am not doing that. That's going to be on Savage Simon's show whenever he decides to have me on again.
There you go. There you go.
Because that
Oh,
is one of the
in the,
challenges I did promise him that I would do.
I don't know if you get a strike for this, but in the interim, you could always stand up, turn around, drop your drawers, show us your moon cheats.
I'm not saying a specific moment that where I've seen that happen. I think Devin remembers this.
What's that?
Where you where I think we were in Zoom one night and you accidentally mooned everybody.
Oh yeah, that was an accident.
But the funniest part is he saved himself. He was like, and Devin, I'm sorry for putting this on the air. He was like, I know you all loved my pasty white ass.
That's right.
But I love Devin. He made when he did that. That was funny. He made my fucking day.
Now, you know what the best one was? Is this was around 4th of July when Mark Fagan went to his old trailer park.
bathing suit.
and he with a bathing suit on and played the guitar.
That was actually pretty fun. No, but
I
I
think
remember
it's
one.
still out there. If you look long and hard, you'll find it posted out
No, I remember one time somebody posted. I think in Fagan's World, fucking of Mark sitting in a fucking meeting or whatever for I'm guessing Vaporessa or some shit. Fucking shirtless, fucking ass cheeks, like sagging his pants, bare ass cheeks out. Fucking, he's still living in the trailer park. So I remember the exact studio room that he was in. Fucking, he gets up, goes to whatever wall he had his fucking vape shit in. All you see is his bare ass cheek, fucking a whole bare ass moon. He's like, what the fuck? So as he goes to sit down, all you hear is him just fucking just flat out ripping ass. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Then I don't
Oh,
know if you
that's too
remember this.
funny.
Fucking, he made a 2020 fucking calendar of him doing the most stupidest fucking shit. Fucking he. Even one moment, he's fucking sitting there in one picture. He's literally bent over, bare ass out. I'm like, oh god, why the fuck did he have to send me a 2020 calendar with him mooning in the fucking picture? Now I have to see cock and balls for the rest of my life. How do I send some moon cheeky photos to Dylan? That no, you probably have to send them to Brian, and he'll probably send them to me. Oh Jesus Christ! I swear the most random shit happens when you start becoming friends with fucking vape. Most random shit happens when you start becoming friends with fucking vape people. Holy shit!
Well, you remember the one time Mark Fagan, we were on one show, and he opened up the Amazon box and they had a breast pump for
I don't remember this.
him. For some reason, he never even ordered the breast pump. Okay, now this is supposed to go to pregnant women who just had the baby and they want to, produce the breast milk. Well, he ends up getting a breast pump shipped to him from Amazon. It's like, what do you do in that situation? You open the box and you see a breast pump. It's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with this thing?
No, I remember two videos. Fucking, him and Angela got fan mail or whatever. Fucking Brian, I'm pretty sure you remember this. Fucking a good friend of mine who I kind of stopped speaking to, who used to watch Mark, sent him a box, and in the box there was a whole bunch of shit. But one thing, this dude, like literally the first thing he pulls out was a soap that looks like fucking a turd with fucking pieces
Oh
of
yeah,
food in
yeah,
it.
yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Two legless Lucy's, and a fucking beer glass with titties.
Yep, yep. I remember that because it was on a Saturday night or Friday night. It was on
It
the
was on a
Friday
Friday
show.
night.
Remember the shit show? Yep. I've seen some wacky stuff over the internet, wacky stuff on YouTube, but nothing beats some of the old crazy stuff that Mark Fagan used to pull off. He can get on there and go on Omegle
Yeah.
and do the phone
Which one of
calls.
the guys that was there, I shit you not, said he looked like a happy hippie, shirtless, laying on the couch with the blanket on and shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, you remember his old thumbnail where he had showed up? He was like on a stripper's dance pole.
I think it
uh,
was
you know,
Ginger, or think it was Marcus. Fucking, there was a fucking like couch, like a crocheted like cock or whatever. Somebody was inside of it. Somebody fucking literally put Mark's face on top of where the head would go.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, you fucking dickhead.
Oh, we had some funny incidents with Mark and his crew. And some of the
I swear,
stuff
Mark's
that
a
he pulled
fucking
off
nut.
and got away with on YouTube was really amazing.
Bro, to be honest with you, I was gonna save this for last, but ladies and gentlemen, come if I could take a look at the phone because I know because I spoke to Brian about this since he is the co-host of this stream. August 1st and August 8th, we will not be doing a stream
Right.
because August 1st August 1st and August 8th I will be with the Fagans. So I will be either doing pre-recorded videos and live streaming from my end, but the show will not be taking place those two Fridays. Um, Other than that, bro, I don't know how I'm gonna survive a week with the fucking Fagans. I don't know how.
That's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Tell you what, you got to have some silly antics going on every once in a while. That just makes life more interesting, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sorry.
Dylan, I sent you a picture in Facebook Messenger. Look, I'm afraid to even fucking look, you asshole. You sick bastard.
What?
Neil Pitts, you sick bastard.
Uh-oh, show it. Show it, Dylan. Show it. Come on, you got to show it.
Oh, you fucking sick
Hold it
bastard.
up to the camera. You can show us.
Let me pull it up again. Because Hanky even sent me something too.
Oh,
Chewbacca is caca.
oh.
That's funny.
Now, Hanky, was that you on a good night or one of your bad nights? Oh man.
I can tell you that's Neil when he gets too plastered.
Oh, yep, that could do it.
That really is Neil when he's too fucking plastered. Holy fuck.
Gentlemen, give me a moment. I'll be right back.
Man, oh man. Holy shit, Neil, you sick bastard. I don't know why you even fucking sent that, you nasty motherfucker. You know, I'd expect this from Devin sending me random fucking shit. Or
Huh.
even Brett for that matter. But Neil, come on, man.
That's right.
But as the description says, if you kind folks like to donate, Rico, you shut your fucking mouth. I was reading fucking chat and shit like that from fucking YouTube. Minus the fact that Neil Pitts sent me a fucking picture. As Neil Pitts says, Red Rocket Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
Rico said he thought you quit YouTube.
Well, no, not necessarily. So it's a long story. I'll tell you. I'll talk about it in Zoom later on.
Yeah,
There's
which is basically after the show. Rico, how you doing, you sexy son of a bitch?
Alrighty, I'm back.
I missed
At the,
you.
oh, I missed you too. I was crying. I might prep up today and do a half a teaspoon.
Ooh.
Ghost pepper flakes. So that challenge may be on.
Yeah, heck yeah, I saw that.
Sorry about that, Odie. I sat back down and almost kicked my dog in the face.
Oof.
Oh, that wouldn't be good. He'd bite me in the ankle.
Fucking ankle
Uh,
biters, bro.
well,
That's right.
I know what my dog's going to do tonight when the fireworks go off. He's going to jump directly into the bathtub.
Oh
That's
yeah.
his bomb shelter. He has to have this bomb shelter, and he won't come out until they're over. That's going to be around midnight.
Oof.
Rico, how we doing, sir?
Working on his driveway. I thought you were working at work today. I'm still waiting on my shots of adrenaline.
Rico's working on the driveway because he doesn't want to get it picked up by ICE and deported.
Fuck.
Actually, Neil, I'm working on one new recipe right now, and I'm trying to feather it in, but I got to wait for my supplies to come on Monday to do it. I'm kind of shy on base nicotine mix, so this is all I got left till Monday, plus my Nick salts that I've got for the pod. So I'm kind of running out.
You see, Brian's like a drug supplier. He has to get the
Yep.
good stuff in so that way he can send it out.
Hey, I could always try to snort it. Ground
Oh
it up
hell
real
no.
fine and snort it.
Oh hell no. I would definitely fucking lose my shit if that was the case.
Oh, that would be funny as hell, though. You'd see me laying flat on my ass and have the ambulance come pick me up.
Hmm.
So that would be kind of funny.
Hanky says
Devin,
Devin could
could
sing
you
us a
sing us a
song.
song?
He could sing us that theme song that he made me.
Oh, the only song I really know is I know a guy. His name is Dave. His dick is so short, the bastard's concave. That's it. You want to go into that one? Oh, he quit his job. Okay, remember, I'm looking for a new job. All right, got it.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
worry, don't worry, Rico. As long as you got your papers, you won't get deported.
Fuck
That's
no.
right.
So Devin, would you like to sing us a song?
Fuck no, I ain't singing. I'll do that when I'm drunk.
What mod that I won't use? Oh, the death mods. Never mind. My father said he was already going to use it. It's a Boro mod. It doesn't have the tank or anything like that.
Send it. What the hell? I look at it this way: if you can't eat it, sit on it, sleep on it, send it in the mail. Just mail
Brother,
it.
you're not wrong.
Yeah, Dave said if you keep vaping at 4 o'clock in the morning with that crackle, he's going to take that mod and throw it in the trash can.
He's going to take the mod and shove it up my ass.
With the fire button taped down.
Yeah, he'll be like, I'll show this kid, damn it. Give me this fucking mod. I'll show him.
Dicks.
Oh man, I was just thinking of Mark Fagan, on his bike rides.
Yeah, he's going to a barbecue tonight at Bill and Tony's. So.
Yeah, and he said he was going to live stream, but then he texted me. I texted him. I was like, yo, what are you doing? He was like, fuck, what the fuck did he actually say? Oh, he's like, I don't think I'll be home. Angela's off today and got to run to the store to get some stuff for barbecue tomorrow.
Ah, so he's got to have a barbecue live stream.
He
Yeah,
might.
I just put together a
That's
grill
kind of
last
funny.
night for the people here at the building, and I got to go put it outside tonight. Nothing wrong with a barbecue.
I mean, Rico, I voted for Trump too.
I voted for myself as a write-in. I may actually run for president next time around because half of these goons that are sitting down there in Washington, D.C., don't know a damn thing about economics. They don't know how to get along with each other. And the country just keeps adding more debt upon debt. You're adding $5 more trillion to the national debt.
Oh, for
Why?
sure,
What the hell's the purpose?
right?
And all
But
they
then,
do
but then
is
again,
have,
here's the thing: the government themselves keeps putting the country in debt, but yet they blame the fucking president for fucking doing it.
yeah. Well, you got to remember, both political parties are so damn corrupted. It's disturbing.
Right, but here's the thing: when we have a Republican president like Donald Trump in office, right?
Yeah.
All the Democrats want to blame him for making the country so goddamn fucking corrupt and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck?
That corruption started about 30 years ago, and it just snowballed into something bigger and bigger and bigger. And Hanky will probably tell you the same thing over in the UK. It's like watching Parliament fight when they hold these hearings down in Washington D.C.
Oh yeah,
Nobody can get along with anybody. I mean, everybody's got their own agenda, their own spending agenda, and it's like nobody does anything for the public anymore.
bro. It's like, bro, why can't we all just get
Thanks, Neil. I
along?
appreciate the recipe there.
It's like, at the end of the day, why can't we all just get along? You know, at
It's
the
not human nature for people to get along like that. It's
right, but
just
the thing
they've
is,
gotten to the point where they want to be elected, and that's to keep their coffers full without
right,
really representing anybody.
bro. That's why I blame society and the government
Yeah.
because they're both in unison for why this country is so fucked up the way it is.
Yeah. And they wonder why people are sitting on the street shooting up heroin and sucking down pain pills and trying to get a hold of anything just to get high. And it's like, okay, what happened in society where we've gotten to that point where people don't realize you got to go out, you got to go to work, you pay your bills, you enjoy yourself, you enjoy your life. So
Exactly.
who came along and introduced all the bad stuff? And I blame that on both political parties. I really do. Because they don't give a shit and they don't give a damn about the people in the United States. They're only
Exactly.
looking
And
out for their own benefit.
and I always thought the government was supposed to listen to the people. And that's one thing that they're not doing is the fact that they're not listening to the people.
No, they never will. I've been around politicians. I know how they operate, and they're only in it for the dollar. They don't go to a normal church. They go to the church of the undivided dollar. That's the
Exactly.
church they believe in. That's their religion, and it's always going to be that way. And there's nothing you or I can do about
Exactly. That's why I keep telling Wicked Vapor and JT, if I was to vote for president now, I'm voting for Wicked Vapor for president, JT Von Base for vice president, and I'm voting for Devin Jeffrey to be secretary.
it. There
Hmm.
you go.
And then when they get famous, I can tell people I know them motherfuckers.
I've already been famous. I don't need to be any more famous than what I am. I've had my moment in the spotlight. Matter of fact, remember I was telling you how Showtime used my name in a
Yup.
production that they did about the old FBI director's firing. Well, I never got paid for that because they never even asked my consent to use my name.
No, yeah, I remember that
They
he
should
literally
have.
for that,
They should have, but they never did. They don't give a shit. It's all about the money.
bro. That's
So
exactly what it is. It's all about the money,
my fame will be everlasting, but in
bro.
the
You're not
wrong
wrong.
aspect of things.
Oh yeah,
I've seen some stuff where people have died unnecessarily. I've seen a lot of political corruption at the top tier of the food chain, so to speak. So that's just the way life is. But you have to move on, you know. You move
Oh
on,
yeah.
you go around and do what you need to do.
Oh, for sure.
But the sad part is the younger crowd that's out there nowadays, they don't stand a chance because what we do
Right.
in this country, and I'm sure it's the same with the UK, they elect people that are so old and out of touch with reality and the younger generation. So they're still trying to lead the country in their direction like it was 1950. It's not. I
Exactly.
mean, you have to look at the technology aspect of things. You got a technological breakthrough with AI. You've got Silicon Valley. You've got so many people out there that are not employed that could be employed that know and have an interest in those subjects. So
Right.
why not get those people to start working, even though we're in a technological age that's on the brink of something even bigger? So why not start training those people in those type of fields?
Because it's laziness.
Well, you give the younger generation an opportunity to make a dollar, even though they may just be employed or not own the company or whatever. But you
Right.
still give them an opportunity to start a life and get married and have the kids and everything else and bring things back into focus, not the continuous wars that we have. You know, the every 20-year war that we always see, it's just bullshit. It's not really solving anything. And Mr. Trump gets in the office, so I'll have the Russia Ukraine war settled in a day. Horseshit. You can't. He has no
Exactly.
control over that.
You're
So
not
it's
wrong about that, bro.
just a ruse, you know? But we need somebody a little bit younger sitting in the White House, at least under the age of 70.
Yes.
And, you know, get things moving along in this country, get rid of the greed factor. And I'm sure it's this is not just us over here in the United States. We have more people across the pond the same way. Over in the UK, we've got you know, those people are going through the same stuff we're going through, and you've got a financial disaster waiting to happen. And we need to start getting both political parties together. And if you can't figure it out, let's vote in somebody that's independent. It's not going to put up with the bullshit and actually bring the country together in a unified fashion and start doing things for the people instead of just their pocketbooks. And the problem with Washington, D.C., it's all lobbyists. You
No,
know, how
for
much
real.
money can you line the coffers of a politician to get ahead? And it's been that way for 30, 40 years.
No,
And
I
it's got to
agree.
change. It's got to change. And you get people out there that even in the UK, they're having a difficult time with, you got food problems, the supply and demand. The demand is higher than the supply, so the suppliers raise the price. So it's a trickle down effect, and you got to really put a clamp on it. And say, hey, look, whether we're going to regulate this or not, we're going to put a ceiling price on items. You know, put a ceiling on gasoline, put a ceiling on a
Right.
loaf of bread. How much can you actually charge and get away with? And you'll start to see prices trickling down.
No, for real.
As for the way it is now, it's not going to happen. Because if you lower the price of a gallon of gas, or any petrol station over in the UK, if you lower that price, people will actually tend to travel more. So when they can travel more, they can spend more. And if you get the next guy involved, lowering the price of food or entertainment, and
Right.
you're going to get more business. It's a very common business sense, and they just don't seem to like doing that.
Oh, and I agree 100%.
Yep. Oh, Hanky says spanner time. Cheers, Dylan.
Yep, because I gave him a spanner.
Aha, there you go. I know Mark Fagan won't give me a spanner. I've asked repeatedly. He just doesn't want to give me a spanner.
It's weird on his Vaping Fagin channel. He won't give me a spanner, but on his Fagin's World channel, he gave me and my father spanners.
There you go. I like his dog Roger. Roger steals the show.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I like the story that Angel and Mark told, where fucking Roger pissed on his foot. That was funny.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. That was definitely hilarious. Well, Rico asks a good perplexing question, wondering that they want that to happen the way they can control us. Well, of course, Rico, if you think about it, you work for a living. You get an X amount of dollars every month when you get paid, or every 2 weeks when you get paid. So they have organizations out there that calculate out the cost of living, how much they can charge you for a loaf of bread or a dozen of eggs, and it's all calculated out. We have no control over that. So you're either
Right.
going to pay the money to live with your rent payment or your mortgage payment, and then you've got your car payment plus your food and all the other stuff that goes along with it, like your taxes. Um, by the time you're done, you have to work 2 jobs just to succeed and just to get ahead. So you go out there and bust your butt, and where do you get? You get nothing. So you treat yourself every once in a while to one or two little items. It just satisfies your own curiosity, your own
Yep.
need. It makes you feel good. But
Go
what
for
we
it.
have in this country, and I'm sure it's a global problem, it's called the case of pure greed, is what it is. It's just pure greed.
That's exactly what it is. It is just pure greed.
Yeah, and it just hurts people, not in the way of an economic harm to them, but it hurts them mentally more than anything else.
Yep.
Because you get people out there working, trying to afford a nice house and live the American dream or any type of dream. But when you put a damper on that, they have to go to work twice in a day, 2 different jobs just to afford food. Well, that puts a damper on their enthusiasm to actually go to work because all
Yep.
you're doing is just taking the extra money and just putting it in your coffers.
Devin, what are your thoughts on this?
Thank you, Hanky. I appreciate that.
I'm not gonna give my political opinion, so thank you.
Well, it was just I don't like to get into politics because I've been around a lot of politicians. But what I see today is that the young people out there who are trying to make a life for themselves have virtually no chance of ever succeeding. So you're either going to pay an exorbitant mortgage payment or an exorbitant rent payment and not be able to afford to find anything that's really good to eat or healthy for you because you have to use a lesser quality food just to sustain your life. And it's just not fair to most people. And nobody should have to go out and literally work 2 jobs just to survive. So we should be able to get this country back into shape, or actually even globally back into shape, where we're not killing each other over damn borders and boundaries and religion, but helping each
Oh,
other.
yeah.
We've got a massive food supply chain across the globe. So why can't we help those who don't have to get them into better shape? And that'll come back to us, but we also need the assistance by having the governments lay off on taxing so much and wanting so much in the way of taxes just to keep going. We shouldn't have to fund wars. Is what I'm
Oh,
trying to
there's
say.
Odie.
Easy. Yep, that's my dog. He's barking. But we shouldn't have to fund wars. Forget the wars for a while. Why don't you go walk across the border, shake the guy's hand, give him a pat on the back, and give him a drink, and say, "Hey,
Right.
look, we
Even
can
some
be
of these people,
neighbors."
even some of these people nowadays, like the young girls and stuff like that, they need to stop shaking some ass and go make $1.
Right. And Six Pack Kid and Neil Pitts, about the tariffs. Why so many damn tariffs? We've got enough tariffs as it is. Okay, you're going to tariff the shit out of these other countries trying to sell its goods. Okay, first off, we shipped out all the work that we could to China. Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. That's fine. But make it affordable for us to buy their products without having to backstrap us with higher taxes all the time,
Yep.
higher tariffs. If you got a good product, people will buy it. People always need a television. They always need a computer.
Oh, for
They
sure.
need technology. But when you get to the price of cars using cheap foreign made parts and you're charging 50 grand on minimum for a vehicle, upwards to 150,000, that's a mortgage on a home. Can't you make a vehicle that's affordable, drivable, that meets the regulations as it's needed at a cheaper cost? Sure you could. And don't be laying off people on the union end because without the unions, this country would be nowhere. You have to have skilled labor to build things. So don't take it out on unions. Don't undercut the unions. Those people are there for a reason. They built this country, not me, not the guy sitting on my ass on a keyboard. I made
Right,
enough money
but
doing that.
also you have to take into consideration half these jobs like Amazon and shit.
Yeah.
They don't have fucking unions and shit like that.
Well, Neil Pitts just brought up a good point. Okay, the war is where the money's at. Okay, I know that from having a previous girlfriend that I worked for her dad back in the 70s. We made O-rings for the missiles. So when the wars came along, he made a ton of money. But the problem there lies with the federal government. We have those people who want to control other countries continuously are the ones causing the every 20-year war. And those people at the top of the ladder are the ones that are making the money because war is big business. We've got a lot of money going into wars.
Yep.
That that employs people, but only for a short period of time. And within that short period of time, yes, people may make a lot of money. But you got to remember that's going to go away eventually. So why not stop all those stupid wars?
Oh,
Unlike
for
Mr.
sure.
Trump, he can't own up to his promises to stop any war because he never will. But what you got to do is have a collective of both parties involved and stop all the damn wars, stop all the silly spending, stop all the wasteful spending. I mean, they hire Elon Musk to come in and cut back on jobs. But then you also wanted a bill passed through Congress that adds $5 trillion to the debt.
Yep.
Now, where's that money going to go? To the people who making the weapons, the missiles. So it's not going into a good cause. We're funding wars, is all we're doing.
Right.
And that's the way it goes. And people need assistance in this country, like Nick said.
Yeah,
You
and I
have
agree with that
you have
because
to have assistance to those in need who are truly in need.
right, like
You can't just
homeless
say,
people.
"Well, you're done. You're off the rolls." You can't do that.
Right,
But
and that's the big thing. There and depending on what state, for the United States, depending on what state you're in, there's a lot of homeless people that's still not being taken care of.
right,
It's
right,
sad. It's disgusting.
right,
People, whether you're a veteran or whatever, it's sad to see these people just living on the streets.
right,
Get them the fuck off the streets. Get them in a fucking house. Get them a
right.
fucking job.
Yeah.
Don't just keep them sleeping on these streets and shit like that.
Well,
It's
here's my whole point on that too. How many companies have closed down across the United States? And
a lot.
even in Europe, over in the UK, they've closed down too. So, what are you doing with those buildings that are empty? They're vacant. They're not being used for any purpose. How come you can't put beds into those buildings, take the homeless, give them shelter, and put a training program in there for them to go out and get a job again, be part of society again.
No,
And
what's
it's
even
not going to
sadder
cost
about
much.
that, Brian, is the fact that they want to keep saying they keep those same jobs that are out of business.
Yeah,
A majority of the factories that are closed down, they want to sit there let all these other citizens and shit like that graffiti the place,
yeah,
let that shit get dirty as fuck.
right?
Even some of the new like buildings that were probably built like a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, they
Right,
want to sit there, let that shit be vacant, just have signs or whatever just on the fucking door
right,
that
right,
says for lease or for rent. But
right.
yet, no, yet barely anybody wants to fucking rent it or lease it because the
Yeah,
prices are so fucking jacked up.
yeah. Well, that gets back to the problem of the politicians who run for office. Now, good case in point. I got nothing against Mr. Trump or anybody, but Mr. Trump's nothing but a con artist. He's a liar, and he's more of a snake oil salesman than anything else. He's not a president. He's winging it. He's looking to line his own pockets, just like every other politician down in Washington, D.C. Not one of those people really give a damn about the average American citizen. They don't worry about people going to work. They don't worry about people affording food. So then, hence, you have the food stamp program, which a lot of times is being abused by those who really don't need it. But that's going to happen. That's the country we live in at this point in time. So what you have to do instead of going in and trimming back workers in the federal area because Mr. Elon Musk says to do so, and then adding $5 more trillion onto the national debt, why
Yep.
don't you go and nip the problem where it's at? Hit the problem where it's really at, not firing people in the federal workforce. You go to the problem itself. How do you satisfy and make people aware that, yeah, there's food stamps for you. You need them. And they do because they don't have an honest job or they lost their job and they have no place to go. So they hit the streets. So take those empty buildings in these companies that vacated the country, made their money and hit the trail and ran. Use those
Yep.
buildings, house the people that don't have a place to live, and provide food for them. Also, provide a training program or two for them, even if it's getting a job as a gas station clerk. They got a
It,
job.
it it's even the same shit when it comes down to vaping. The
Yeah,
government says, "Oh well, we're concerned with the kids, or whatever, because they're ending up in the hospital." Well,
horseshit.
if you look at the facts for what it is,
Yeah,
if these dumbass kids didn't get the fucking vape carts or whatever that contain weed or THC shit
right,
off
right,
places like Amazon or fucking whatever, they wouldn't be in the fucking hospital. You wouldn't be sitting there lying and bashing people who vape in all these vape companies, trying to put them
right.
out of fucking business
Yeah,
because of the fact that these dumbass kids want to get fucking vitamin E acetate fucking filled carts off some other fucking
yep,
place, trying to fucking ruin our lives since
right.
we all vape and shit like that. It's like, come the fuck on, be smart about that shit.
Well, it
You,
also goes back, Dylan, to parenting. Okay, I
right.
blame a lot of problems that the today's youth on the parents. Okay, if you're a parent of children, you should be teaching them the right way to do things versus the wrong way. So if a parent shows the child, oh yeah, we can just drop at a gas station, go buy a disposable. Well, that child sees that. Okay, you have to be responsible enough to say, look, little Joey, you see me doing this, that's not what you really need to do. Okay, nicotine is an addictive chemical. I'm
Right.
addicted to it. I have no problem with that, but that's my choice. I'm an adult. But
Right.
to go out and promote all the disposables and say, okay, little Joey's friend Sammy, he ran down to this gas station, purchased a disposable. So little Joey goes out and does the same thing. So what you have to do is hold the people who are selling those things responsible. I'm not saying
Right.
just wipe their business out altogether, but they have to learn that you got to check IDs. If the child looks like he's under 21, you don't serve him. It's the same with
Exactly.
a bar. You know, if you go to a bar, you're underage, you're not going to expect to drink there. If you do, the person that owns the
Exactly.
establishment is the one that gets into trouble, not so much you. So,
Right, and that's why some of these gas stations nowadays they won't literally fucking ID you. They'll just like, okay, well here you go.
yeah, they
It's
just
it's
shove
like
it out. Yeah.
right. It's even some of these other some of the vape stores that I go to out here, they'll literally ID me. They're like, oh yeah, you look like you're
Oh,
18.
yeah,
Where's your
yeah,
ID? Whip out the
yeah.
ID. I'm like, oh okay, you're 28.
Right.
Okay, here you go. Here's your disposable or whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's the
it
same with the vape shop where I'm at. I ran out of juice last year. You know, I was waiting on my order to come in for the DIY stuff, but it was going to be late. They told me it was going to be late. I said, no problem. I just ran down to the local vape shop, but I had to show my driver's license to pick up the vape juice.
right, and you know what's crazy about that, Brian? Since we're on the topic of not showing ID, even if you sit there and order something from like let's say for example, and this is just an example.
Right,
Say for example, you order um an a, an atomizer from Dicodes, right?
right.
They'll sit there and charge you the $7 to $8 signature fee and ID fee,
Yep,
but yet the minute they ship that bitch via USPS, DHL, UPS, FedEx, however they ship it,
right.
the minute the motherfucker comes, these cocksuckers won't fucking ID you.
No, they just leave
Now,
the package. I've been there. And, you know, I've
even
ordered
with
stuff
this,
in.
even with the signature fee, they won't fucking let you sign it. They'll just fucking
No,
sign it for you and just drop it.
that's what they do. That's what they do. So a lot
That's
of the
why
people
Element
that were
nowadays.
ordering from overseas were worried about having the signature fee and all that stuff. It was no big deal because the postman is just going to drop a package and sign for you like you did it, and he walks away. So it's no big deal. But what we need to do is don't be banning disposables because that's a good way for people to get off of cigarettes, without a doubt.
Quentin, there's only two mixers on the stream right now, and that's Mr. Brian and Mr. Devin Jeffries. He says
Right,
ordering some flavors from Noms are big shots, the same as one shots. Basically, asking if the big shots are the same as the one shots. Wondering if mixing, wondering for mixing. Thanks. Devin uses one. I think Devin uses one shots.
yeah, Quentin. The one shots are pretty much an easy way of getting something that's advertised a good flavor. You've got your base mix, and you just drop it in, shake it up, and shake and vape your way you go. You know, but if you're ordering from Noms, and Noms has got several flavorings available for it, and Neil Pitts would know better than me because he's much more experienced mixer than I am, and he will tell you that with the one shots and that sometimes you're actually better off buying single individual flavors, coming up with different recipes of your own, or looking out on ELR and the following recipes as they're put out there. But yeah, get the
Right.
4-star ones and stuff like that. Give those a shot. Now you could, on as an interim, buy those one shots and give them a try. If you don't like them, you're not spending a whole lot of money.
Right.
So,
And like what NorCal, who's always occasionally in
right,
Mark's chat, mentioned last night, ELR and another site, the calculators may confuse some
right,
people that are
right,
mixed
right, right.
because some people may be used to one site but not another, and
Right.
vice versa. It's like Brian said, you just have to get the flavoring in and
Yeah,
just focus on the specific thing instead of
right.
doing the one shots.
Well, and Neil Pitts just brought up a good point too. He says the vape shops around him you have to show your driver's license as soon as you enter the store. And that's a great idea. I don't have a problem of pulling out my driver's license and showing it to somebody and say, look, this is my driver's license. If you want to scan it to make sure I'm all right, then fine. I have no problem with that. I'm legitimate. I'm not there to purchase something illegally. So why do I need to worry about somebody looking at my driver's license? I don't have
Right,
that.
but here's the thing: if you're buying a disposable, let's say like 500 puffs in that, right?
Right.
That normally lasts a day and a half, not 2 days.
Yeah.
If you're going to get your disposable every day and a half to 2 days, then and you're constantly being shown you're asking to be shown ID. It's a fucking ridiculous. If that's the case, you might as well just get a disposable that's like fucking 13,000 puffs or 24,000 puffs
Yeah.
and shit like that. Or you might just want to get something like this or
Right.
what Devin was using with the Bonza Pro and shit like that on top of regular mod. That way you don't
Well,
have to go to the store every fucking few days.
Neil Pitts brought up another good point. He doesn't use the one shots that much because you can refine the recipe according to the taste, which is true. And that's what I said. If you look out on ELR, you got 99 flavors, I think it's called. But there's so many recipes that you can tailor to your particular needs and taste and wants. A lot of people don't like the same stuff that I like.
Right,
Okay, that's fine. Okay. I like a lot of RY4. I like a lot of whiskey ones and stuff that people would not generally vape. But that's no big deal. But what you got to remember too, those one shots, if you purchase them, they're trying to achieve a certain flavor for your mix. So they're
right,
already pre-mixed for you. So if you look at it and say, well, it looks good, I might want to try it, then you buy it. And if
right,
it turns out really good, you can purchase it again. But like Neil said, and I agree with Neil, you can tailor your mix to whatever your personal preference is. So if you
right,
like coffee with a little bit of Irish cream, well, you buy the coffee flavor, you buy the Irish cream flavor, and look at the percentages that are used on average for those mixes. And
right,
ELR is a good place to look up how much percentages those particular flavors are being used and go from
right.
there. So if you look at the one shots and you figure, well, okay, it may not be something I want. Well, you can also go on the Nom site and several others, and you got Bull City, you got Delosi, and
Central
several
Vapors.
others. Yeah, Central Vapors, and buy just the flavorings that you want. So if you're
Right,
you're stuck with wanting an all-day vape that's coffee flavored, well, okay, you're going to look at getting a good coffee flavor. Then you're going to look at you add sweetener to it, so you're going to get your sweetener. You want cream, so you get some sweet cream for it. If you want to
yeah,
mix it with something else, then you go from there. Because a lot of times the one shots are great for like the average flavors that people want to vape all the time. But say you have something that you particularly like better than something else. It's something that you want to try that's not the mainstream and you can't buy it locally. Then you go and buy the individual flavor and then try it from there. And if it works, it works. But you do a small mix. You
yep.
know, it's like me. I use Delosi, the premix base. So all I need is the flavors and adjust them according to the percentages.
As
And
Mr.
that's
Devin
what
Jeffrey just texted me saying he's going to grab some beer, so he's gonna be right back.
it. There you go. But yeah, and mixing's not hard. And
Right,
Neil's got several flavors. I mean, he's up to 600. He's way more than what I've got, or probably more than I'll ever have. But I
Brett
have
Whitney
a,
has a whole fucking shit ton.
yeah,
I've seen the man's house.
I have a set amount of flavors that I use, and when I run out, I will reorder those flavors.
Right,
I'm kind of particular on it. I've tried to venture out and do different things. And Neil Pitts does pretty good job. I mean, I've tried a couple of his, and he does a great job of mixing. That's without saying.
Right.
But for somebody that is new into the DIY game, it's not that hard. As long as you got a scale, you know how to mix your PG and VG together, or you could do like I do. I buy the pre-mixed stuff. I do a 50-50 split. It's already got the nicotine in it, so I don't have to worry about adding nicotine to it. I just
Right.
worry about working on the flavors and what combinations work and seem to be pretty good. So that's the easiest way to do it. So anybody wants to try DIY mixing, hey, it's not hard. It really isn't that hard. But when you get back to looking at the vape shops, okay, here's the biggest thing with a vape shop. Now, I have nothing wrong with vape shops because they need to make money. They're in business.
Oh
What's
yeah.
killing the vape shops in our country is the huge amount of taxes that are being slapped on for the products. Okay, just like cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
If you're a cigarette smoker, that's your business. That's what you want to do. But why so much tax money?
No
Cut
yeah.
back some of that tax dollars. Give people a little bit of a chance, and don't go out and just randomly do a blanket policy saying, "Well, we're going to ban disposables." Well, that's
Right.
kind of
But
stupid.
here's the thing with that, Brian.
Oh,
A
there's
majority of
first
these,
stage.
a majority of these bodegas and everything out here in New York, they, as Brian left, that I'm gonna continue with with what I'm saying. A majority of these bodegas out here in New York, I'm not sure about every other state. They found a loophole in a cheaper alternative instead of just selling a whole pack of cigarettes.
Right.
They'll sell a loose cigarette for like dollar 50,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, yeah, here's $1.50, $2 just for a cigarette. Compared
Yep.
to disposables, they'll have deals. I know there's one bodega that I used to go to near my high school. Anytime I wanted a disposable or two disposables, I'll either pay $5 for one, $10 for one. If I wanted
Yeah.
two, I'll get like two for 10, three for 15, four for
Right.
20, four for 25, or five for 25, I should say. And it's a lot cheaper than anything.
I know
But
where I'm living in West Virginia. They've got a company down there that has places where you just drive right up, hit the window, and you can buy a vape device, lottery ticket, beer, um, get your cigarettes, whatever. And
yeah,
they even sell THC products. So that's an issue that always bothered me a little bit because I see some younger generation people driving up. They just got their driver's license probably last year. They're picking
right.
up THC products. Well, what point do you actually cut them off and start checking for licenses? I
No,
mean,
that bro.
you have to use a little common sense.
Even if you go to the weed stores themselves, not the dispensaries, but the stores that sell weed products, like the actual weed itself,
Right,
the weed
right.
infused drinks, the weed infused foods, or whatever. They won't ask for ID because the fact that I know I've bought a shit ton of weed over the years, and they've never asked me for any form of ID.
Well, that's another thing that's bothersome is you have to, if you're imposing a tax on that business that's purposely selling to the younger generation, you have to train the employees there to obey the law and say, okay, you got to check ID. It's just like if you walk into a bar or a nightclub. If you look underage, you got the bouncer right at the front door. He's going to check your ID. He's going
Right.
to tell whether you're presenting a false one or a doctored one or whatever. And they're easy enough to spot. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you just can't let people in droves run through and buy disposables and they're underage. So that gets back to what I said before. Parenting is a big thing,
Yep.
and that's what you got to look for. And it's like, Neil just said you can get your nicotine concentrated at Nicotine Giant. Okay, yeah, I looked into Nicotine Giant. I've just been used to purchasing off of Delosi Labs, the Nick base, and
And Brian, this goes back to what you were saying about freaking parenting and stuff like that.
yeah,
I'm throwing what Wicked Vampy was telling me because him and I had the same conversation.
right,
Even if you tell your child not to do something, like, for example, if you tell the child not to drink alcohol, they're still gonna
yeah.
go out and drink alcohol.
Well,
If
of
you tell
course,
them not to,
that's in their nature.
if you tell them not to sit there and smoke weird drugs, what are they gonna do? They're still gonna do it. If you tell them not to vape or do anything stupid, they're gonna go vape and do stuff stupid.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to the prospect of making money hand over fist, like the grocery stores do. Okay,
Yep.
so these places that are selling the disposables and the beer and the cigarettes and that, they're in business to make a profit.
Exactly.
All right, but they have to realize, people come there for their pleasure, and what pleasures them is to buy a disposable. So they sell it to them. So when you get to the children going in to do it because they're hooked on it, it's a different story. But that also goes back to the parents. The parents have to have more knowledge nowadays, more than ever else, of situations where a child can get into trouble. So
Right.
you teach them as a parent, not just this is right, this is wrong,
Right.
but you have to instill a little bit of confidence in the child to make the proper decision on their own too. Sometimes, just
Oh, no, I
because you go
100%
out
agree
with your
with you.
buddies, monkey see, monkey fucking do. That's not going to work.
Oh,
That's
and like I said, I 100% agree with you on that. It's like when my father used to ask me all the time. When I would do something, and he'd get
yeah,
mad at me for it. And I'll tell him, like, listen, this person did this. He's like, oh well, if this person told you to jump off a fucking bridge, would you do it?
exactly. I mean, you got to use a little common sense. I know we live in a day and age where internet lives are totally different than what reality really is.
Right.
But you also have to instill in a little bit of common sense into your child. Okay,
Exactly, and that's what a majority of these parents.
yeah, if you see my friend's daughter or son doing it, would you actually do it?
Right.
And you got to tell them right from wrong. I mean, it's a hard thing to do in today's society
Right.
because of the way things are. But at the same time, is you also have to tell that child, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Don't believe everything you see on the internet because
Exactly.
people purposely put out AI altered stuff that puts words into people's mouths, puts words into politicians' mouths, just so that they get a view or whatever the case may be. But you got to use just basic common sense. That's all it
Which
is.
most of these people don't have. They don't have that specific common sense and shit like that.
Oh,
And, and I
I
just want to
think
apologize.
it's still there, but somehow they lost their way along the way. They lost hope with what strains their life, so they try to shy away from raising their kids the proper way.
Right, and I just want to apologize to people in chat for if I'm not reading it. I know Brian's been somewhat keeping an eye on chat, so I myself want to apologize if I'm not physically reading it.
Right.
'Cause right now, without my glasses, it's kind of hard for me to fucking see
Oh,
chat.
hey, I got to use reading glasses, otherwise I don't need them.
Right.
And it's just within that certain 2 foot range, I got to have reading glasses.
Yeah, but it's like as we were saying about common sense, a vast from what I've seen, brother, a majority of these people nowadays don't have fucking common sense at all.
No, no.
They whether they're out and YouTube don't fucking take this the wrong way, but there's a lot of people that sit there do stupid shit. Like they'll sit there, go out, get drunk, get into bar fights. There's people out there who's sober as shit, bring knives into fucking subways or buses, or even guns for that matter, and just go on a fucking killing spree. Even in
Right.
fucking broad daylight, fucking going off killing people and shit like that. It's like, bro, where is your common sense and shit
Well,
like that?
it's not so much that those people that do that don't have common sense. I think it's more of a case of those people that do that type of action just gave up on life in general. They tried to blame society for their problems.
Right,
So what they need to do is start concentrating on getting their life in order. Whether it's going to an AA meeting, anti-drug meeting, or going to a church and just
right,
socializing with people. And it's not to say that they have something wrong with them. It's
right,
just sometimes as people get so far out of touch with reality that they don't think straight.
right. No,
And
and
it's
on
not
top of that,
and it's not like they need a psychologist or a psychiatrist to tell them that. It's just that sometimes leave technology alone. Go enjoy the weather. Go out and smell the flowers.
and another thing is the fact that a majority of these people that are out here nowadays, they'll sit there and play victim, and
Yeah,
they'll start blaming all these different disorders and shit like that. Mind you, even if they
right.
were put in like a psychiatric ward, they'll just tell these people like, listen, it's on your fucking head.
Yeah,
Like, just let this shit the fuck go.
yeah.
And then they get all drugged up and shit like that. Then they have to go to all these fucking meetings and shit like that just to recover from all the substance abuse.
Yep.
And it's like, bro, like, why would you even? I understand, it's one thing. You're going to a doctor for,
Right.
and I know I'm one to talk because I know I suffer from this because that's where I'm sit up, in tears. But like for example, depression. That's a big one that I've
Right.
seen over the years. People sit there get slapped on antidepressants and shit like that, and these
Yeah.
doctors won't even care, and then these people turn into like fucking mindless zombies.
Right, because the doctors get a kickback from the drug firm that's making the drugs. They don't give a shit one way or the other. They're getting their money. That's paying for
Exactly.
their $1 million home.
And their $1 billion cars.
Yeah. Well, that's what it comes down to. There's so much pure greed in this country. And it's
Exactly.
not just this country, it's overseas too.
And
You got
that's
the
why I try to
top
tell.
1% that's controlling everything, and they want more and more and more. And these bastards stay up all night long trying to figure out ways to weasel more money out of your pocket.
You
And
know,
they're
you're
always
not
going to
wrong.
do that.
And that's why I try to tell people. Like I tried telling I think I tried telling my father one or two occasions. Money is if you're looking from the outside, like, if you're standing on the outside looking in, you
Right.
know, money is the root of all fucking evil.
Well, of course it is. And I'm sure if you look overseas, and Hanky will probably tell you this if he's still in the audience, they have the same issues we have. You've got crime that's ever growing, you've got corruption, you've got high cost of living, high cost of food. Your rent is going up and up and up.
Yep,
So where does it stop? Wasteful spending, like Nick said, you got so much wasteful spending in this country and overseas,
yep.
but nobody's really reining in that wasteful spending. You get
And
people
it
like
is.
Elon Musk. I couldn't give a shit about Elon Musk. He's got enough money, and he made his money only on tax credits. So
And
he
I'm not gonna sit
abused the
there.
system to become a billionaire.
And
Okay,
I'm
good
not
for
gonna
him.
sit right. And I'm not gonna sit there and sugarcoat shit, Brian. Like if the Democrats never ran for money, not money, president and shit like that. If they never ran for office, and we would have like a Democrat president or whatever, none of the prices would have fucking skyrocketed. Fucking
Right.
if China took better care of their fucking health, they would have never fucking spread the coronavirus and shit like that to the point where the whole world had
Yeah.
to go on fucking lockdown.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and that's when the price of everything just skyrocketed because of the fact that Joe Biden became president after Trump did, even
Yeah.
after the coronavirus fucking came out when during Trump's first
Right.
fucking term. And you know it and I'm not sorry for saying this, but it's completely and utterly fucked up. You know that even with all these weird ass fucking diseases that are coming into this fucking country, like for example, swine flu, Ebola, Zika, now
Yeah.
coronavirus. It's
Yep.
coming from all these other fucking countries, and nobody's fucking seen the big picture. That yes, we get all these people trying to move in for a better life, or we're getting all our shit from all these other fucking countries.
Right.
We're still getting all their fucking nasty ass diseases and shit like that. Just fucking your safe bet is just to close off the entire country for all this fucking shit.
Well, you could do that, but the only problem is you isolate yourself from the rest of the world.
Right,
Now,
and
a much more
I'm not saying
better
it's
approach is don't elect a president that's going to appoint somebody that doesn't believe in vaccines. That's horseshit. Now, the media by itself and as a whole have promoted a lot of bullshit in this country. So when you turn the tube on and you see these talking heads, don't believe a goddamn word they say because they're full of shit too. They're in it for ratings. They're being paid money, and you get shows like on Fox News. I don't
right.
watch Fox News. That's the phoniest goddamn news network you can never see on the face of the planet.
You're not
If you
wrong.
want real news, turn on the BBC. They'll tell you the real news. They have nothing to gain from it.
Big black cock.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it. So
And,
if you want your news, go to Reuters or go to BBC or go to PBS and try to pick up your news because Fox News ain't cutting it for you. Fox
Rick,
News is about ratings and lining their own goddamn pockets by selling goddamn books that nobody's going to read in 5 years anyway.
exactly. And you
Everybody's a
know,
goddamn expert on Fox News. Not one of them sons of bitches are expert on anything but their own pocket. That's it. End of story. So, and that's coming from a Republican, folks. That's coming from a Republican. So
Neil,
don't believe the bullshit that Fox News promotes. That's
Neil,
not.
that's not what people were saying. What I'm trying to get at is people were saying the C virus was from fucking China because of the fact that people, oh, whatever fucking came into
Oh,
this
I believe
country.
I believe what Neil just said because that's true. Because China is on a global take. They want to control everything. Okay, I don't have a problem with Chinese products. They make good
Right,
products. Japan makes great products.
right.
But Neil Pitts just call it. Okay, they released the virus to do one thing, and they succeeded. Okay, we as dumbasses sat there and promoted this bullshit on Fox News. Oh, getting a vaccine was bullshit. No,
Right.
if you didn't get a vaccine, you're an asshole. That's my opinion of you. I don't care. Okay, point it out to me in a different direction, but I've had COVID twice, all because of people not getting the vaccine.
I
The
got the vaccine.
vaccines work, they are necessary, and people have invented those vaccines for a reason. That's to keep your happy ass alive. Not because some asshole on Fox News told you, well, you don't need a vaccine. Horseshit. You need a vaccine. People around you carry that virus. Look how many people have died and are in mass graves up in New York. Now you're going to tell
Yep.
me you don't need a fucking vaccine for that? Bullshit.
Yeah, you want, but here's the thing, bro. You want to know why all those cocksuckers died? It's because all these other dumb motherfuckers that were trying to treat them kept them in the
Yeah,
bed the entire time,
right,
and
right,
yet they still didn't do shit, and
right.
realized, oh well, they're not supposed to be bedridden. They're supposed to be fucking walking the entire fucking time, and shit like that.
Precisely. How are you going to walk if you don't have a vaccine to prevent it from coming into your body? Don't be an
Right,
asshole. Get the
right. But
vaccine.
what I'm saying is, all those people that were bedridden because of the C virus all died because of all the fucking fluid and shit like that that
Right,
got into their lungs from the C virus.
right,
If
right,
those people walked and fucking actually went to the bathroom just to fucking do whatever
right,
they needed to do, then okay, they wouldn't have fucking died. They still would have fucking been alive.
right,
And you know, before I got the vaccine, I kept getting tested. Not once did that shit get positive.
right,
Even
right.
after the COVID test, even at not the COVID test, even after I got vaccinated, that shit still came back negative.
Sure, sure. And I'll tell you what, having COVID twice was not something I want to go and experience again. So whoever's in the audience, if you think Fox News is going to tell you otherwise that you don't need these vaccines, they're so full of shit. Their heads stuck up their ass so far their eyes are brown. Those fucking people on Fox News all had vaccines. So
Right.
if they come on and say you don't need a fucking vaccine to save your own happy ass, they're so full of shit and you're dumb enough to believe it. Turn the goddamn channel. Those people are just no good. They're worried
Retarded.
about selling their own fucking books, not worried about you, the general public.
Yes.
Gentlemen, you have to
As
forgive me for getting a little upset, but I need to go take a little boys' break, and I got to run my dog outside, so I will be back in about 10 minutes.
you do that, sir. So I see you got your beer, good sir.
I did.
How many bottles?
I got a 12 pack, so for $20.
You alcoholic.
The new Corona shit is
I
really
had
good.
never fucking seen that one. Jesus Christ.
The citrus, man, is real fucking good.
I gotta fucking find that and try that shit.
Oh man, real good.
I've been in the mood for some fucking hard liquor.
And you guys still talking about fucking politics?
We were talking about the coronavirus and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, uh, we know so far that China experimented. Experimented with snake venom, so we all got poisoned with snake venom. So they
Oh,
test they tested two different venoms. One was from a king cobra, and the other one was from the Egyptian snake. So,
bro, I agree with you 100% with that shit. Because other than that, why the fuck would we sit there, get fucking COVID, and then fucking whatever?
it was released to stop President Trump from getting into office his second term, but you see that didn't work. They released a COVID virus, that didn't work. They tried to assassinate him 2 or 3 times, that didn't work. They tried to throw him in prison, that didn't work. So
And yet, look what happened. He still became president and everything. And yet, these motherfuckers still trying to find more and more ways to get him in trouble and out of fucking office.
because he's against their agenda. The Democrats' agenda is for world domination, the new world order. President Trump is against that.
Because that's all they want to do is fucking fuck everything up for this whole world.
The new world order, as long as we keep going down the same path that we're going, as far as electing people like Trump, the new world order has no chance to come into place. So
Oh, and I 100% agree with you on that.
we can prevent the new world order.
As I'm struggling to get this fucking bottle open.
That's just my personal opinion. You guys are more than welcome to disagree with that, and that's fine. So I'm just stating my own personal opinion, so that's fine. So,
And you're entitled to state your own opinion.
But I respect
Or some shit to get this bitch.
I respect other people's opinion that might disagree with that, and that's fine. So yeah, absolutely
No,
fine.
at the end of the day, bro, you know, regardless of what the shit is, you know, people have their own views on shit. You know, they may say, "Oh, well, this person's a jackass because of X, Y, and Z." Some people are gonna sit there and say, "Oh, well, I think this person's a good person because of ABC." You know, but at the end of the day, you know, people are still gonna look at shit differently and try to fucking, you know, as I'm still trying to pop this fucking cap off. But, you know, people are still gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, well, X, Y, Z, da 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 da," but yet some of those people that sit there and say, "Oh, well," and I'm just using you as an example. Some people are gonna sit there and bash you for not doing what you're supposed to do, right? And then it's like, bro, where the fuck is the actual proof about this shit? Some people won't fucking find or have that proof to back up what the fuck you're saying. You know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, you know, if you're gonna bash somebody, have fucking proof.
Nick, to answer your question, yes, I will smile.
He's like, "Can I get a smile?"
I gotta make a dentist appointment and go get my wisdoms taken out. I was supposed to do that a long time ago, but I didn't have the money at the time, so I gotta make an appointment to go get them taken out, and then go get a teeth cleaning and everything. So I mean, I take good care of my teeth. You know, I keep them brushed every day and everything like that. So,
I
uh,
don't know.
and I need to go and get some more cavities filled and everything. So, lots of dental work that I need to have done.
No, Nick, you don't bash me for having pancake nipples. You bash me for fucking slutting around and cheating on you. There's a difference.
Good old Nick, man. There's nobody out there that's like Nick, man. Nick is one of a kind. So, we'll never get another Nick. So,
Bro, you're not wrong. We won't.
yeah. Yes, Nick. I'm getting that taken care of this fall. So,
What'd he say?
uh, just get them taken out before they go bad. Just get dentures. Marcus, I'm saving that for like a last resort and everything.
He's saving that for when he gets to Mark's age.
So that's going to be a last resort. I was thinking about doing what Lil Wayne did and just get permanent grills in my teeth and everything like that. That way, when I smile, you'll see diamonds shining and everything. So. Diamond grills.
That's good. That's gonna be, I think, hundreds of thousands of dollars just to fucking put diamond grills in your teeth.
Yeah. Neil Pitt says, "Damn, Dylan, that juice is a little dark." Yeah, I know, just like his soul.
Yeah, thank you, Devin. I was about to say the same shit.
But cheers to you guys. Happy 4th of July. It's also one of my favorite times of the year. Not only, you know, not only is, about fireworks and stuff, it's about, us, trying to put the word about us as a country and everything. So, of coming together. So I think in these times we all need to come together and help each other out. So, I had to wait a week to get into oral surgeon. I was popping 10 ibuprofens and 12.
12
Yeah,
hours.
yeah. The thing that helped me when I was having that real bad pain is they prescribed me amoxicillin because mine were real bad infected, and that really helped. The amoxicillin helped take the infection. But I'm gonna get it taken care of and everything here in the next month or so. The only thing is well, I don't mind because I'll be laid up in bed for 2 or 3 days, but that's fine with me. I can sleep. I can watch YouTube. So, you are the wrong color to have a grill like that. No, there's plenty of white rappers that have grills there, Neil. You got Paul Wall. He's got the grill. You got Riff Raff. He's got the grills. What other white rappers have grills? Let's see.
I don't even know.
You got Post Malone. So anybody can have diamond grills, man. I love Paul Wall, man. He's out in Houston, Texas, man. That dude goes a long way back, so he's got some good music.
Neil Pitty's Paul Wall, homie.
Grills was a really fast fade. Yeah. Well, it was basically a way for rappers to show off on how much money they have. So buying the diamond grills and the diamond watches and chains and all that stuff. So.
No, I gotta agree with what Nick said.
But Dylan will tell you Dylan is secretly rich, and he's got a
Hey,
couple
whoa, hey,
diamond
hey, hey,
grills.
hey, bite your tongue on that.
So
Here I
he,
am. I'm back.
so when Dylan is practicing rapping in the mirror, he puts on his diamond grills and his chain and everything like.
Devin, you shut the fuck up, you asscock.
I don't. It sounds like jungle drumming. Well, rap isn't for everybody, but
Oh, well, this stuff's rough. 50 milligram. Oh, nah. I don't think I'll ever buy Nick salts again. No, Nick salts aren't for me.
Nick
Nick
Salt's
Salts
good
and
for you.
Jewel in the Jewel is pretty good, except for the fact that when it hits hard.
No,
Well, and that goes back to when you're younger. Okay, you pick up a cigarette, take that first hit. What's the first thing you do on it? You choke. You feel nauseous, and then you do it again, and eventually your body becomes so used to it. I would rather have my nicotine in a different form. It's called liquid,
Nick,
and
you
it gets
bite your tongue.
all gets back to the anti-vaping thing that's been going on in the
I'll be right
world.
back.
Okay, you go anti-vaping. What are you promoting? You're promoting cigarettes. End of story. And there's nothing wrong if you want your cigarettes. That's what you're used to. Then by all means, go for it. But don't pound it into my brain that vaping is bad. It's not. Okay, it's a lot less harm reduction. It's harm reduction in a form that you're still getting your nicotine fix. So promote vaping instead of cigarettes. Get off the bandwagon that you know better than anybody else to give a blanket policy. We're going to ban disposables simply because you want to protect the children. Well, you're not protecting anybody. All you're doing is promoting the sales of more cigarettes. End of story.
Oh yeah, nicotine is a stimulant, just like coffee. So
Yeah, I have to have my coffee. I'm addicted to coffee. I'm addicted to the nicotine. If I don't have them, hey, but you could still live without them. But you don't need to live without them because some asshole politician comes along and says, "Oh, we're going to institute this reform. These regulations prevent children from vaping." Okay, well, you're not preventing them from vaping. All you're doing is giving them the opportunity to go out and try to get cigarettes. That's all you're doing. I mean,
Nick,
that's
what
the
the fuck is
nature of
that
the
supposed to
beast.
mean, you ass?
That's the nature of the beast in this world that we live in. It's a crazy enough world to begin with.
yeah,
But it gets back to the common sense from the parents passed along to the children. And you have to instill that confidence in those children to say, hey, look, that might not be a good thing for
Right.
me. And you'll grow up a better individual to begin with. I remember when I was a kid, if we weren't in by the street light time going on, then we might as well stay out as long as we wanted, but we're still going to get our asses beat. And that's when you got the paddle. So you learn, it's repetitive. It's like Pavlov's dog. So you're Pavlov's dog at the age of 6. You don't listen to your parents, you get penalized. And it's pretty simple. So we have to instill into the parents more responsibility that they somehow lost along the way. And that's what it comes down to. It's pure common sense. That's all it is. The same with drinking. Okay, I like beer. I don't do it all the time. Maybe once a month I'll buy a 12 pack. But it gets back to the thing of we're all adults in this world that we have in our community. We all know what we're doing, and we're helping each other by creating recipes like Neil. He does a great job going out there and promoting his
Right.
recipes, and some of them are really top notch. And you have to make an informed decision, is what I'm trying to say. This is like my rant before about Fox News. Make an informed decision on your own accord. You have to use your own common sense, your own intelligence to realize what's good for you and what's wrong for you. If you drink too much beer as an adult, you get sick, you throw up, and you got a hangover. Well, you do that enough times, you start realizing that maybe you need to trim it back just a little bit.
exactly. Yep.
But you use your own common sense to live your life in a very nonsensical world that we're living in.
Yeah, when you drink, you got to know your limit, man. So when you
Right,
drink, so
right,
if you want to avoid hangovers and getting sick and throwing up, you got to cut
yeah,
yourself off at a certain point.
right, right. And Neil Pitts brought up a good point. Okay, there are groups out there, and he's right about this because I've seen those groups. They purposely go out and try to destroy a product or an ideology based on what they believe which way you should act. Okay, that's wrong because we live in a free country. You're free to choose your religion, you're free to choose what you eat, what
Yep.
you wear, who you associate with, but you still have to use a bit of common sense.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. It's just common sense.
Exactly.
By the way, because I know that we're on YouTube too. Just a disclaimer for people: you have to be 21 years or older to drink. So I just wanted to
Exactly.
put that out there.
So,
21 years,
same here.
21 or, and the
21.
same thing with vaping. You have to be 21 years of age or
Right.
older.
Yep. I mean, I've been in the hospital enough times to know that when you're sick, you're sick.
Oh,
And
Exactly.
my hospitalizations weren't due to alcohol or any drug related problem, trust me. Um, but when you're laying in that hospital bed, you're wishing to go home.
Yep.
You're wishing to survive because that's the nature of the beast. Your body tells you survive, fight, stay alive.
Right.
And you do the best you can with that. And then when you're out of the hospital, of course, you're going to pick up your habits again, but you know your limitations, like Devin said. You have to know your limitations. And if you can't control those limitations, then you go seek help from a third party. You've got Alcoholics Anonymous out there. You've got drug counseling. I promote that all the time. If you know anybody that's either a family member or a friend that's got a problem, help them to seek out the help. There's nothing wrong with being a human
Right.
being to help another person.
No,
Uh,
it's like when right before my dad's eldest sister moved upstate, she wanted to grab lunch with me and my father. So
Right.
it was me, my father, his eldest sister, and her husband. We all went out vaping. I went outside the vaping and talked to my godmother real quick because the fact that
Yeah.
I barely speak to her because she's either busy or I'm busy doing YouTube stuff. So I went outside to call her as well. She got nasty with my father. She's like, "Oh well, she went out. He went outside to go vape." It's like, okay, what's wrong with
What's
me
wrong with
vaping?
that? Right.
It's it's and we told her like it's my life, and
Right.
my father had to
You're-
put her in her place, and she just stayed quiet after my father told her like, listen, no matter what you eat, drink, or whatever you put in your body,
right.
that's all bad for you too.
Right.
Whereas vaping, it's just four major ingredients within the vapes.
Right.
The BG, the PG, which is basically in the flavoring, which is basically cooking
Right.
ingredients, and
Yeah,
the
there's nothing
nicotine.
wrong with that. Yeah. So, in harm wise, there is no harm when you think about it. They've used nicotine to treat depression. They've used nicotine to treat diseases. They've used nicotine, and it's a proven study, especially in the UK. They've got some brilliant doctors over there doing good studies. Nicotine can help you with drug problems.
Exactly.
If you're addicted to certain drugs and you get off those drugs, that nicotine acts as a buffer to keep you off those drugs.
Right.
Okay. And that's not going to kill you. The nicotine is not going to kill you. It's all the other bullshit you throw in your body that's killing you. And whether it's being eating low end foods because you can't afford a better meal, or you're out there purposely, you're sucking down weed like it's going out of style. Now, weed itself, I got nothing. If you want to do weed, that's your business.
Right.
But weed does have 5 times the amount of tar in it than a standard cigarette.
Right.
So one joint, 5 times the amount of tar. And when you equate what the effects of weed are, isn't it better just to go get a beer or a bottle of hooch and then feel good and do it legally?
And New York, it's weed is legal out here to smoke. So I'd rather,
Right.
for me personally, I'd rather smoke my joint and be happy because that way I'm
Yeah.
I'm in the house and I'm smoking. At least I'm not you know and I hate to bring Fagin into this, but I don't want to be like a Fagin where he goes to like a bar, when he goes
Yeah.
bar hopping, he gets fucking
Right.
plastered drunk, making a
Right.
fucking ass out of himself. And that's why for me I'd rather you know pull a vape in a joint than if I was to sit there and get drunk.
Well, Quentin Combs just made a good point. Vaping 30 to 40 minutes a day, and he's just fine, which is right. And
Right.
he's 5 years smoke free. All right, if you look at the toxins that are produced from a burnt tobacco leaf and all the other bullshit that they add to the tobacco to thin it out to make more profit, which they do, you're far better vaping. Vaping is natural. There's nothing wrong with it. VG and PG. That's all FDA approved. So you're only adding flavorings and nicotine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
So
VGPG is also in the foods that you eat, vegetables, fruits.
Yep.
precisely. And you'll see a lot of that stuff in like ice creams, your potato chips, for different flavors and stuff. So that's all derived from those PG based
Yep.
flavors. So, and you've got the essential oils that some people like to put in the little vaporizer units just because it gives them better zen for the day or whatever the case may be. There's nothing wrong with that. But what's really wrong in this country is how we treat people who are trying to help themselves by staying off of cigarettes. That's the point that you have to look at. Okay,
Right.
I realize these tobacco companies are making money, and it's their business to make money hand over fist. But at the
Exactly.
same time, don't try to gobble up the industry and in the back end of things, promote anti vaping just because you want to build your profit margins up just a little bit higher than what they are now.
Right, and that's what big tobacco is doing. Instead of getting on the
Right.
mainstream shit like
Yeah,
vaping, they're trying to be anti-vaping so that way they can save their own ass
exactly.
and
Exactly.
still promote cigarettes and still fucking raise the taxes on that bitch.
Well, it's all about the money. And as my dad would always say, it's always about the Benjamins.
And
It's when it
it's like,
comes
you
to
know what?
money, it's profit.
And it's like, you already know. Either way, people are still gonna get their nicotine in, whether they smoke a cigarette, smoke a
Right.
cigar,
Right.
or they pick up a vape device and fucking vape. So it's like they might as well close all those cigar stores and
Yep.
cigarette factories and shit like that, and get
Right.
on mainstream shit,
Yep.
and just might as well just start taxing the shit out of these fucking vape companies and vape stores and shit like that.
Well, Hankey's still here, and he would be the first one to tell you what the situation is over in the UK. Yeah, they're banning this and that, but what adverse effect is it going to have on the people who, like Hankey and many vapes and that, who legitimately use nicotine for their own pleasure, their
Right.
personal satisfaction? Okay, so why would you want to go around and do a blanket policy banning disposables because a few children got a hold of them? I would rather have somebody use a disposable than lighten up a cigarette
Exactly.
any
Um,
day of the week.
yeah, I know what you mean. I used to get those cigarette coupons in the mail. Well, my mom
Yeah,
used to get them in the mail and everything. It was like, I don't know, like 10% off or some shit on a pack
yeah,
of cigarettes. But
because
My
they're
father used to
trying
get them in the
they're
mail
trying
too.
to promote the sales by saying, okay, you can save $2 off a pack. Okay, I don't know what it is in the UK, but I'm sure they do the same thing over here with the coupons. But all you're doing is promoting the sale of the cigarette to boost your
Exactly.
profit margin. And
My father
that's
used
the
to get the
same.
Marlboro Red fucking
Yeah,
coupons, got the Pall Mall coupons and shit like that.
yeah. Me,
um,
if I see a coupon for cigarettes, I just throw it in the trash. I don't need them. What the hell?
You see, even if my vape died, for example, and I smoked a cigarette, I would fucking want to throw the fuck up. I'm like, yeah, no, just take this shit the
Oh
fuck
yeah,
away from
yeah, yeah. Well, that's like when I was younger. I tried chewing tobacco, and the first thing I did was run to the trash can and throw up. Okay, that's kind of a shock to the system. Same with cigarettes. When you first try your first cigarette, you can remember that we all do, is when you first lit that cigarette up, you thought you were being cool, but
me.
you were
Right.
choking on it, you were vomiting, but you did it again and again and again and again because peer pressure, for one, was the big factor. Okay, back when I started smoking cigarettes, I think I paid 60 cents per pack. And we all bitched and moaned when they finally hit 85 cents. And we all promised to quit when it hit $1.25. Well, we never did because you were already addicted to that chemical. Now,
Right.
whether it was nicotine or anything else that they were putting in the cigarettes, that's what you got addicted to. So
$10
by
off.
vaping,
Oh
yep,
yeah, fucking. This gas station down here, they have a sign up where where the gas pumps are. It says something like cheap. We have the cheapest prices on carton of cigarettes or some shit like that.
yeah, it's like
I,
how do you gauge that, Devin? Really, how do you gauge you have the cheapest price? Okay, everybody could put that on there. What are you gauging it to, though? That's the question.
yeah, it's been 6, 7, 8, 9 years or so since I bought cigarettes, but I don't even know how much a carton costs anymore. So I don't know if it's
I don't either. But from what somebody told me the other day, they've been paying upwards of $120 per carton. That's
Yeah.
just outrageous.
yeah.
And that breaks out to be 12 US dollars per pack. I'm sure over in the UK it's a little bit more.
Yeah.
When you had your first cig, oh yeah, I remember
Yes.
mine, man.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I thought I was king when I was smoking. I was like, oh man, I'm doing what the cool kids are doing and everything,
Oh
and then
yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. And Devin, you called it right there. You're being with the cool crowd. You know.
after so many years went by, it's like you start coughing and shit like that. It's like, man, I gotta give this fucking shit up, man. This shit is no
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
So and that's when vaping came around, and I feel better. You know, my lungs have cleared up. You know, I
Yeah.
just feel great. You know,
I think, and what Hanky just brought up, I think my first cigarette that I had was in 1975. It's been that long. So 1975, I think the month was June or July. I can't remember the exact month. But I thought I was the coolest shit in the world. You know, my uncle, he buys me a pack of Camel non-filters. Me, like a dumbass, I'm out in the backyard with my dad. We're lighting one up. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's 1975. I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm not even of age yet, you know?
well, back then, I don't think it was a law back then, right, for underage people to smoke.
I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah,
so. But it's been many years.
yeah. It's like I remember my dad telling me growing up in the '70s and '80s. He's like, "Man, we used to ride around without seatbelts because it wasn't a law back then with seatbelts."
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Nowadays is the law. You have to obey that bitch.
Right, right. Well, back then we didn't have smartphones, and you communicated by either in person or using a regular telephone, you know?
Yeah, payphone. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have payphones in our school. You know, you're in grade school, you're in fourth grade, fifth grade, you got a payphone booth sitting out in the lobby. It's like you dropped a dime in and you made your call.
Yeah, tell my dad all the time. It's like, man, I wish I would have grew up in the '70s and '80s, but you can't choose when you're born. So
Right.
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
But if I had to choose, yeah, I'd rather be in the '70s and '80s so I can
Yep.
experience what it was like living in
Right.
those
Right.
days. You know.
Yep. Well, you know, six pack kid will tell you too. You know, look at the money that you spent on cigarettes, and if you didn't smoke cigarettes, all that money you could have had.
Right.
So by vaping, you're saving a shitload of money to begin with. And
Right.
Hanky
And
will
all
tell
you're
you this too. And I'm sure over in the UK where Hanky's at, the cost of cigarettes is just as astronomical as it is over here.
right.
So
And all you're
look at the
spending
money
on
you're saving.
right. And all you're
Yep.
spending on the money on is the juice, the coils, and the cotton. And that's just really it.
Right. That's minimal actually. That's real minimal.
Well, if you're a DIYer and everything like that, you know, uh, is you go on, you buy a certain amount of flavors, and those flavors will last you fucking months. If you smoke a pack of cigarettes, it's
Yep.
only gonna last you a day, day and a half.
Right, right,
Two,
right, right.
you know. So
I
yeah.
like I like what Neil Pitt said. His first pack of cigarettes, him and a friend stole them from his parents back in 1978. Yeah, I can remember doing shit like that. My dad smoked. He was a police officer and he busted his ass at two other jobs. And yeah, you do that. And when you get caught, my dad, when he first caught me smoking, he said, "Look, all you got to do is come and ask me for one. If you want a cigarette, I'll give you a cigarette." And I don't know if that was a good decision or a bad decision at the time because, I was younger. But at least we were able to sit down as men and smoke a cigarette together.
Yeah, I remember my father caught me fucking high as fuck one day. Fucking, I was just high. I can't come walk into the house. I was on the phone. He fucking walked right to the fucking his room or whatever. Well, he looks me square dead in the fucking face, like I'm looking at you, gentlemen. He's like, "Are you fucking high right now?" I was like, "No." Grab my phone and fucking call dad.
Meanwhile, your eyes are all glossed over and everything else, and you're sitting there, okay, yeah, I
Fucking
feel a
my
little
eyes
loopy.
low as a motherfucker and everything. Like, he's like, "You're definitely fucking high as shit." Oh, he was pissed after that.
Yeah.
Quentin Quentin says 130 a carton in Canada. Oh, are you in Canada there?
Yeah, those are crazy prices up there.
Yeah, has anybody heard about what's going on with vaping in Canada or anything like that?
I
I
haven't.
feel sorry for Quentin and crew up in Canada because they have so many regulations. Importing stuff, it's just a total mess. They don't have a choice. So you either get the stuff now while you can get a hold of it before any more regulations go in, or you just shit out of luck. And that's what
Right.
it comes down to. And it's the same with the people in Australia. You got Birdman and you've got Legion Vapes. It's one of those things. And you look at what they have to go through and the price of things. Now they're required in Australia to go to a pharmacist to purchase their nicotine products,
Oh yeah.
which is kind of goofy. It's ass backwards. And there's nothing against the Australian people because there are a lot of great people over there. But what they have to go through just to satisfy their own personal needs, it's
Uh,
bullshit. It's
Speaking of
bullshit.
an Australian, Nathan's in chat. What's going on, mate?
Yep.
Nathan can tell you about some crazy shit going on in Australia.
Yeah, and if you look at over in Australia, they've got the tobacconist shops are being firebombed for whatever reason. That just doesn't make any sense. You don't want to get people hurt over stupid regulations because
Right.
some politician thinks he knows better than you, and that politician is the guy that you elect. So what's he going to do when he's not elected again? He's out of luck. And he's got to remember the people who elected those politicians to do their job need to do their job instead of stroking the people that are the average citizen. And it's the same over here, the same in Canada, same over in the UK. They have to remember people vote, they vape, they vote.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you can't remember that, you're going to be out of a job.
Oh, for real.
You know, and I'm sure it's the same place as things within New York and where Devon's at. People are a little tired of being told what you can have and what you can't have.
For real.
People are adults. You have a choice. You made your choice. It's like Devin and I, we chose to have a beer. That's our business. We're adults. We
Exactly.
can do that. But don't come knocking on my door and say, I don't want you vaping anymore. Meanwhile, you're down the street hanging out with the guy that owns the cigarette shop. Bullshit. You're hanging down in the street, the guy that owns the grocery store. He sells cigarettes. Bullshit. Don't tell me how to live my life.
As,
Do your best to make your own profit, but leave me alone.
back before my grandmother passed away in 2010, she had this doctor, and the doctor kept telling her, "Yeah, you need to quit smoking and everything like that." But after her appointment was done, she'd walk outside. He was fucking smoking a cigarette. It's like, man, he's a
Yeah,
hypocrite.
what a hypocrite. It's like, when I had my gallbladder taken out years ago, I was in the hospital and the doctor came in. He says, "Man, I got to go have a cigarette." He says, "You want to join me?" I said, "Huh?" He said, "Yeah, you want to have a cigarette?" So we went out in a courtyard at the hospital and had a cigarette together with a doctor and a nurse. I was like, "Oh man, cute little nurse too. She was pretty hot."
No, I
Yeah.
remember the first time around when my father was in the same rehab place he was in recently. We kept going outside so he can get air or whatever. Fuck, he's like, you know what? I want you to do me a favor tomorrow. I said, okay, what's going on? He was like, bring me my pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Bring him his pack of cigarettes. Bring him his lighter. Lit one up. He's like, this shit is absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah. That's like when I was in the hospital last time, right around when the pandemic hit. I broke a leg. I was lucky enough to have a nurse who vaped. Well,
Right.
she went out and she bought me a device. She provided the liquid for me. And I used to vape in the hospital room. So it was great. She would come in late at night around 3 a.m. We'd sit there bullshit, shoot the shit. She'd always bring me a drink and that. Cute little girl. But she made sure I had a vape device, I had liquid, I had batteries, and she would charge the 18650 for me right at the nurse's station. So I couldn't complain on that front. So I had it made. But I wish more people like my doctor, who is a female, which is odd. A lot of people say, "Oh, you got a female doctor." She promotes vaping because I told her my story, and so when people go in and ask her opinion about quitting smoking, she says to try a vape device, which is great. And I give her thumbs up for that one. And I wish more doctors would do that. So that's
Uh, yeah, I know that, Nathan.
well, that's like Nathan. He's smoking. He's hitting a disposable device, and there's nothing wrong with that. What the hell?
Exactly.
It keeps you going. It keeps you doing what you want to do. And it's like, people like Quentin, he's up in Canada. Okay, those people are paying the price for cigarettes, which is just as outrageous as we do in the United States. And wouldn't it be cheaper and better just to promote vaping? That's the big question. So whether you got a disposable or you buy a pod like this, fill it up with your own juice, hopefully not 50 milligram like I got, but it's something a little lower, use that.
For the people in the UK, do they still have vape shops in the hospitals like back in the day, or is that gone now? Because I remember they used to talk about it all the time, having vape shops in hospitals over there. So I don't know if that's still a thing or not.
Yeah. The only thing I would venture out to say, which is probably the worst nicotine product you can get, is a patch. If you use the patch to try to quit in the past, those are the worst things going. It's a total waste of money. You're better off with something like this. This is
Right.
a 4 milligram pouch, and these are great. This is a coffee flavor. If you like coffee, try this one. It's really, really good. And relatively inexpensive for 20 pouches. I think it was about $4 and 37 cents. 4.37 for 20 pouches. Not too bad. I'm sure you can get it cheaper elsewhere, depending on who's actually selling it.
All right, Mr. Intense said only a few hospitals have vape shops in them now. So
Yeah, but if you look at the progress they're making, though, at least they're recognizing that vape shops belong in hospitals to promote people who are in the hospital who are addicted to cigarettes, who may be there for a couple of weeks stay. This will help them instead of harming them. And
Could you imagine if they put vape shops here in our hospitals? Boy, they would throw a fucking fit if they did that.
oh yeah, well,
On the
coming from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, University of Pittsburgh, UPMC, and Allegheny Health Network, they on all their campuses at all their hospitals, no vaping, no cigarettes, but people do it anyways. But you can actually get fined from the police by doing it.
yeah,
And it's just to the point where it is, you have to look at common sense again. It goes all the way back to common sense. If you're a vapor, leave the person alone. At least they're not bothering anybody.
Exactly.
You know,
state laws. Yeah,
yeah. You can overregulate things in your country, your local laws. It's like, at what point do you have too many laws restricting people? So you have to look at it from a common sense aspect.
yeah.
Okay, people paying enough money for food, they pay enough money for a car payment, their rent or mortgage or whatever the case is. Let the person the hell alone. Let them go have a toot on a vape device. Who cares, you know? At least
Yeah.
it's not stinking up the place with cigarettes.
Yeah, talking about vaping, a couple weeks ago I mixed up a 12 milligram of one of the flavors that Flavor Jungle sent me for free.
Yeah,
So I mixed it up in a 12 milligram. I was like, man, I want to try this. So mixed it up and put it in here, melt along mode and everything. I was like, man, uh, I just don't like 12 milligram anymore. I used to like 12 milligram,
yeah.
but I'm happy with 9 or 9. This is 9.5 that I put in here. So
Right, right.
everything, and I'm happy with 9.5 milligram for mouth along. I just can't do 12 anymore. It's just I just
No.
don't like it. So,
Well, it's like Devin, when I first started vaping, I was at 24 milligram, freebase. Then after about 3 or 4 months, I moved myself down to 18. Then from there, I moved myself down to 12. And then I went down to around 9. And then I moved down to 6. And then I dropped to 3. And now I'm back up to 6. And the only reason why I dropped down to 3 because I wasn't feeling too well for a little while because being anemic and a couple other issues. So now I'm feeling better. I'm going back up to 6 and I'll hold it steady. But
yeah,
I totally agree with you. 9.5's good, especially on mouth to lung. So
yeah,
what I'll
but
do is I'll take a 6 milligram liquid, the premixed base, and I'll add some Nick shots from NOMS, the VG Nick shots, and I'll bring it up to around 9. That's perfect for mouth to lung.
and for my open systems, I'll do 3 because that's what I love in open systems.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
for my mouth to lungers, man, it's 9.5 all day long. So.
yep, yep.
Yeah, I'm just strictly direct lung. I can't do mouth to lung.
Well, the only reason I do like mouth to lung is like if I'm laying in bed or something and I don't want to blow clouds or anything, I'll just sit
Right.
when I'm out and about too. Because especially when I drink and stuff, 3 just doesn't cut it. So I have to have something a little bit higher.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I remember distinctly going to the bars when I was married. We'd go to the bars and I'd blow through 2.5 packs of cigarettes a night at a bar. Because when you're smoking, you're drinking. When you're drinking, you're smoking. So that just adds up,
Right.
But I couldn't do that anymore. It's like this stuff here, 50 milligram, 5%. Oh, it's rough. Mixed salts are rough. I'm squeaking by, Devin, because this is all I got left until Monday when my order comes in. So
Yeah. Is
I
that
tell
I gotta
you,
survive.
is
I
I
that
gotta
tell you
survive.
that I'm telling you that 50 milligrams is knocking Brian on his ass.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's rough because this pod, the Freemax Galax Pro Pod, probably the best mouth to lung pod out on the market. You can pick them up for $13, real cheap, and the coils are cheap. But it's just the 50 milligram. It's like, oh man, I ordered 35, which is pretty high anyways, because over in the UK your standard over there, I think, is 20. If Hanky can point me in the right direction on that one, I believe it's 20 over there as the standard. That's the highest you can get. That would be perfect if I could have got this in 20. But the 50, it knocks you on your ass. Your lungs, you take a hit and it's like, oh shit, that hurts.
Right.
Is that noms there? Is that just a one shot? Is that a one shot?
Oh, this stuff here? No, this is something I got off ECM Vape. They
Oh,
had a special deal going on it. You bought one, you got one free. I
wow.
got the first one, which was the Naked Lava Flow, which was at 35, and this one was supposed to be 35, but they sent 50 instead.
Huh.
So it's just like it'll work in the pinch until Monday when the order comes through. I'll do a little shake and vape,
What's going on, Joe? Joe Jose. I think that's how you say that. So.
That stuff's rough though.
And
Tastes good, but it's rough.
Dylan's on his phone, not paying attention to his.
Now I'm looking at chat, you son of a bitch.
Okay, Mr. Intense says 20 milligram is the highest in the UK.
Oh, wow.
That would be
Well, with the
perfect
nip
for me.
shots.
That
There
would
you
definitely be perfect for me. Even at the 35, it's a little rough, especially Nick salts.
Yeah.
Yeah, granted, you're going to use a lot less on the Nick salts, but the Nick salts are basically pod juice, and that's what you're going
Right.
to use it for. So you're going to use it for mouth to lung aspects of things. I mean, it's great at night. You take a toot and you're good to go. You keep it on a nightstand. You can wake up in the middle of the night. You go to a little boy's room, go wee wee, and you come back. You take a toot. You go back to bed. But to do 50 all day long, no, it's just not going to happen.
No, that's what I used to do with fucking the jewel, fucking 50 all day long with the tiny ass jewel pots. It's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, Neil, no, none of the vape shops where I'm at have Nick shots. They don't even get into that shit anymore. They used to, but then they stopped carrying all the DIY stuff.
You're
Yeah.
in
So
Pennsylvania, ain't you, Brian?
I'm in West Virginia now. I moved from Pittsburgh,
Oh,
Pennsylvania, down to Wheeling, West Virginia,
oh,
and
okay.
the vape shops in PA, had the 45% tax, which is ultra high.
Yeah.
And the vape shops down here, the tax is not that much better, but it's still high. It's like 20%. So if I really run out over the weekend, I can hit the vape shop down the road about half a mile and pick up a bottle of juice of, whatever flavor they got. But I think I got enough till Monday to last.
Yeah, because I know Hobby Delights is out of Virginia, so I'm assuming it takes, like a day or two for it to get to you if you order from there, so.
Yeah, what the hell, And the worst part is I got my Vapors Cloud a scent mod coming. I bought the kit. It
Excuse me.
should be here tomorrow, but I don't have anything to put in the damn thing until Monday.
Yeah, next payday, I'm gonna order the Pixel, so I'm real excited about vaping on that thing.
Yeah. I think myself personally, I got enough Boro devices. I want to start accumulating a little bit more on the mech mods and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and try to get a couple things going. Like I've got in the works. I'm designing a Boro device, and I'm also designing a mech mod, a tube mod. So that's going to take a couple months because I just changed programs on the 3D modeling. So I'm trying to learn another program, and it seems a little quicker to learn. So eventually, it's getting there.
There's one question by Mr. Six Pack Kid. Do they crackle, Brian?
Crackle. I have a hard time with crackle. Crackle is good if you just want to hear that sound, but I generally stay away from crackle.
Well, I smell the grill going, so we must be cooking something good. So
There you go.
No, for sure.
charcoal.
Well, we certainly hit the 3 hour mark. We're at three
Yes,
hours
sir.
and 9 minutes. That's pretty
Well, I
decent.
think that's all the content that we have for now.
Yeah, I believe you're right there, sir.
Yeah,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, remember the what dates did I say, Brian? No show.
Last 2 weeks in July, I think.
Yes, the no August 1st and August 8th. No, there will be no show, no stream coming from this channel. Um, because actually no, there will be no shows coming from this channel because of the fact that I will be at the Fagan's residence, the Fagan Estates. Um, but there will be preloaded content from me and random live streams with Mr. Vapin Fagan. So stay tuned with that. Stay tuned to Devin's channel because of the simple fact I know he mentioned he will be bringing back the show. Um, Also, just stay tuned for everything else. Go subscribe to all the channels we mentioned at the beginning of the
Yep.
show. Um, that's just about it. Devin, Brian, do you guys have anything else to say?
Yeah, if we're not around, you've got other people like Benny Vapes over in the UK. He's a great guy. Watch some of his stuff on Sunday afternoons at the Northern Union Vape Show. Hankey's going to be with him. He also has a mixing show on Wednesday afternoons. That'll work. We've got the Punk Rock Vapor that I suggest you check out. We got Jaff Vapes, Vaping Bic on Sunday mornings. We've got a lot of people out there that we promote, and we got KVR doing their thing on Wednesday nights. So you could
Yeah,
always check them out on Wednesdays. And we got Craig D, and we got Simon on Saturday, Simon Savage Simon, and just give it a good shot. You know, at least you have some content to watch. And we
yes.
appreciate everybody across the globe, whether you're from Canada, UK, or the United States, or anywhere. We thank you for coming in and joining us for the show. And you folks have a great day and be safe. Have a great weekend.
And Devin, before you hop off, do you have any nice words for the people?
Happy 4th of July, everybody, and
Yes, happy 4th.
um, make sure that you guys make sure you don't drink and drive wherever you're at. Always think about that. Have fun today. Today is celebrating our independence and our
Right.
country, and celebrating the forefathers for giving us what we have today. So thank you to that. Take my hat off and I salute all the troops out there. So thank you for keeping that old flag a flying wherever it's at. So thank you to all the veterans out there today. This is also your day too. So thank you. And
Peace out, everybody.
And remember, it's 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.